Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and it's the grand finals of the Awesomenauts Rumble. It has been an incredible tournament so far, with a bunch of upset wins, back and forth gameplay. And now we are here, and only two teams remain. It's Team Aesthetic, your loser bracket finalists, versus Team Humble Bundle, your winner bracket finalists. Joining me today for this historic event is once again Uberancy. Uberancy, you there, my friend?
It turns out I'm Mr. Pillow now, actually, so we have two Mr. Pillows doing this wonderful casting for this wonderful grand finals.
It doesn't get better than that. It does not get better than that.
You maybe want to fix the scene so that I'm not you.
It is fixed.
Okay, it better be. Yeah, I'm not you. I'm not associated with this man in any way, shape, or form.
But I just broke it, so my bad. Sorry about that. So we're here. It's the doubles tournament grand finals. Uberancy. So let's just say it. Who's gonna win this?
The grand finals. I mean, I'm not supposed to be biased here, but I want Team Aesthetic to win. I want Edster to win. I'd love to see him win this and maybe even pull out Ted.
I don't know if you caught the game where he pulled out the Ted 2 matches ago, but that was definitely special to watch. That was some of the best Ted gameplay I have seen ever.
I did not catch it because I was busy playing Team Fortress 2 as the engineer. As you couldn't tell, I kind of like playing the engineer, but I don't know where you would get that hint.
I don't know. I thought Mr. Pillow really liked playing the engineer. So if you,
shut up.
Looking at the bracket, it's been a long and wild road for both teams. Serious Gamers has actually not dropped a single match this entire tournament. Actually, they even in the qualifiers they won all 8 of their matches, getting an 8-point lead that guaranteed them a spot in the playoffs. And then, actually no, excuse me, they lost 1 match to Please Love in the very first round of the playoffs, but then came back and won that 2-1. Then they went ahead and they took out American Mojo 2-1, beat out Dave, that's Spade and Ubi, 2-0. And then we saw their matches earlier versus PewDiePie Fan Club. Team Aesthetic actually got knocked out of the winner's bracket by PewDiePie Fan Club 2-0, but then have done a significant job just like going through some big names. They beat Please Love out of losers, they beat Big Guys out of losers, they beat Dave out of losers, and then we saw earlier they beat up Humble Bundle, they beat up PewDiePie Fan Club, and they made their way back into the grand finals. It has been an incredible journey for both teams so far, and now it's about to culminate. Only one of these teams will walk away alive. The way the grand finals works is it's 2 best of 5s. If you weren't aware, the winner bracket finalists, that is Team Serious Gamers, has to only win 1 of these best of 5s, while the Team Aesthetic has to win both best of 5s. If the first series goes to Team Aesthetic, the second one is played to the winner of that determines the overall winner. If Serious Gamers, the winner bracket finalist, wins the first best of 5, the second one is not played, and they will be crowned the champions. So
if I may get a word in, if you've ever watched competitive Smash Brothers or any Smash tournaments like that, the bracket system is very similar to that in terms of the grand finals. If Team Aesthetic manages to win the best of 5, it's going to get actually what's going to happen is it's just going to get reset and they have to win again. So it's very difficult for the losers winners, but there's still a pretty good chance they can pull through.
There's a reason that they're here in the grand finals, you know. We'll put it that way. That said, we are going to quickly remind everybody, we are bringing, before we get into it, we do have the Awesomenauts Rumble Scrim Show coming back on February 23rd. That's where we take replays from the competitive community, and we cast them right here at twitch.tv/Awesomenauts Rumble. We will be doing this every single Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern. We'll be doing 2 matches, and if you would like your match to be casted, as long as there's a draft, we'll consider anyone, any teams, experienced teams and new teams are welcome to submit. Send over the match IDs and send over the viewer links to awesomenotsrumble@gmail.com. It's going to be awesome time, my friends. And we are also, I would like to tell everyone about the Awesomenauts Scrim portal. Let me grab that link right quick so I could slap it in the chat. The Awesomenauts Scrim portal is basically, Uber, why don't you get this one?
Yay, I get to talk. The Awesomenauts Scrim Portal is very similar to the Scrim Portal on Steam, if you know about these Steam groups that allow you to, find scrimmages with other teams. But this is now in Discord, and a lot of people have Discord now. It's becoming a very popular program, so this only makes sense. And you can join this Discord, and you can set up scrimmages with other teams. You can maybe set up sort of like a pug scrimmage, or scrim, whatever you want to call it, scrim for short. You can set up a pug and just get 6 random people that you think you would like to play with. Or you could just join it and talk to people for fun and maybe get some advice on the game and learn how scrims work before you get started.
Indeed. And one more thing we have to plug, we do have a separate tournament going on tomorrow. It is the Awesomenauts Rumble Beta Brawl. Runamo Games has asked us to run a one-day single elimination bracket to gather feedback about the new Not Deadlift. It is a tournament that takes place entirely in the beta, and it's going to be a big mechanism for Runamo to gather some feedback about the balance of the game. Signups are open until the end of the night tonight, and I will be in our stream tomorrow will happen at noon Eastern once again. I'll be putting a link to more information about that in the chat. Give me 1 second. Where's Montalia? There we go. And if there's something else, I think we are ready to get into the first draft of the Grand Finals, my friend.
Oh yes, the Grand Finals. My
Finals.
favorite time of a tournament, because it means that soon we won't have to talk about video games anymore, and we also get to witness some pretty damn good matches. But yes, I'm ready to get into the draft, not the graft, the draft of the first set of matches for Serious Gamers versus Team Aesthetic.
Indeed. We are looking at the drafts right here. We have Serious Gamers. That's going to be your Team 1. Team Aesthetic going to be your Team 2. And it looks like it's going to be a ban of Penny coming out from Serious Gamers on the map Rivet 4. Team Aesthetic going to be doing the Derple, the Gnaw. And then Serious Gamers going to be banning out the Chucho Croc and picking up a Lone Star right out of the gate. Team Aesthetic going to ban out Jimmy and the Lux 5000. Pick up Jimmy and the Lux 5000. Ban out the Scoop of Justice, and that's going to leave Serious Gamers to ban out Sentry and pick up a Skull Deer, and Team Aesthetic will finish everything out with a pick of Isla. Uber Nancy, how you feeling about these comps, my friend?
Well, it's Rivet, so it's good.
Kesnia. Jimmy and Kesnia, I'm changing that right now, but go ahead.
Oh no, he said it properly. You better clip that.
No, I didn't. I did not say it properly. Go digital. What do you think?
Yes, definitely. Gotta change the subject. For the comps, it's Rivet, so you've got some you got a much closer range. You've got more close range action, and you've also got the solar boss, so you've got a lot more access to experience. You've also got like something else you can pin people into to try and kill them with the solar boss and whatnot. And it's also got the jump pad in the middle, which means you can just jump straight up. But most people know about the map. We're talking about the comps here, and Skoldir is going to be a lot of going to be fun to watch if they can get some nice throws off the jump pad. Sometimes you can hit that jump pad and get a throw well going up in the air and get some nutty throws with that. Lone Star's very strong as well, keeping that push that they need. Team Aesthetic got some decent knots. Lux isn't too great against Lone Star and Skoldir. It's a bit of an arguable pick, but Ksenia is going to help a lot with dealing that damage and poke and for pushing those towers once they manage to eventually get that wipe, or that sort of delayed wipe, and get a push onto those towers. But if Lone Star's alive, they're going to have an issue pushing, because Lone Star's so great at defending and pushing with that bull and with the low cooldown AoE attack, the dynamite. Very strong. I feel like it might be slightly in favor of Serious Gamers this draft, but Team Aesthetic is also really good. Serious Gamers are really good players, so we'll just have to see what happens.
Yeah, I'm sorry, what did you say? Your mic cut out a little bit at the end there.
Oh dear. Well, what I was saying was I think the draft is a little bit in favor of Serious Gamers, but they're both great teams with great players, and we'll just have to see what happens.
Indeed. Well, I don't have anything else to add, so let's get on into this, my friend, as we reach our Grand Finals. I'm switching to the gameplay right now, my friend, and why don't you give us a countdown? I am at the 15-second mark.
Absolutely. Alright. 3, 2, 1, go.
And we're off. You have Body Hunter on Serious Gamers playing the Lone Star. You have Skull Deer being picked up by Zuji. And on the blue side of things, Yellow playing Jimmy and the Lux 5000. Edsta playing that signature Kesnia. We all know him defining so well with. And immediately, big fight going to be coming out. The blue side already in the red team's jungle. And the red team is going to not get too optimistic about it. They're going to be careful. They're going to see if they can find a pull. A bunch of damage coming out on the Edster. He's going to have to juke this accurately. He actually manages to dodge, although his auto attack would have been in first blood at 44 seconds of the game otherwise. And now we're just going to see them sending out the push. How do you think first blood's going to go down, my friend?
Solid throw from Skoldir, and then just, Lone Star following it up with Bull and Dynamite will be a pretty easy way to guarantee a kill, especially against Lux. But if Edster picks up that Virtual Girl, then you might have a little more trouble with that. But we have just basic stuff coming up. We actually have Curry Mammoth on Lux here with a no missile barrage. I'm not sure if that's really that orthodox, but it might just help what with the throw being rather annoying, and it's a good counter to throw, but I feel like maybe getting the basic abilities first is a bit better, especially since Missile Barrage is so good at clearing and poking just so fast. But Edster's actually taking a lot of damage here. He's got the DOT on him, but he's going to be able to get behind the turret and teleport to safety with YOLO here, just taking these creeps, but he's by himself right now, especially like against Skoldir. That's not a good position to be in. Here comes the Wraith Stone from Ksenia, going to give her a lot of extra health. Especially with all the creeps on this map, gonna really help. But whoa, what was that throw? Just throws Ksenia well invisible into the turret, but it's nothing's gonna come of it because Lone Star wasn't there to assist. But that was a crazy throw.
Indeed, and I have to ask. We see one of the things is that BPM was picked up on yellow as opposed to missiles. How do you feel about that? Is that worth it? Is that a Skoldir that serious that you want to give up 600 damage? Which he's picking up the missiles now, anyways, but.
I'd say no, but I still understand why he bought it. Actually getting the charge into the kill on Body Hunter there, getting them an easy pick. The first blood did not go to Team Serious Gamers, which is surprising, but you never know what happens with teams like this that are just good at the game, I guess. And just Edster trying to actually take the enemy solar boss here, taking a little bit of damage, but here's YOLO helping. Looks like he's going to be able to get that kill and actually prevent Team Serious Gamers from farming the solar boss. But regarding the baby Curry Mammoth before missiles, I think it's mostly just because throw is super scary, especially as Lux, and if you use your charge and then he throws you while you're charging him, then that's going to be a pain in the butt. But even with Curry Mammoth, it's still going to have no abilities if he charges and then gets thrown. So maybe Missile Barrage just would have been a better idea at the start, but I can still understand why he bought it.
Indeed. Either way, now they're just trying to control the map. Big fight. That's going to be a throw onto Edster. He's in a bad situation, but YOLO's there to clean up. He might just be able to pick up a bunch of kills here. He's going to pick up all the solar. It's going to be a 1-for-1. And I'm going to say that goes in favor of the blue team. Skoldir's already used his throw, and he actually going to get taken down by the missiles right in front of his turret. Was that the double kill? Did he last hit both of those?
I don't think it's a double kill in the game, but that was pretty much an effective double kill. Getting the nice push on bottom as well. Lone Star's now back, but it's going to take him a few seconds to get here. He might try to get behind YOLO, but YOLO's probably going to see him coming. We'll see here. YOLO's actually just going to charge out of there once his droids are dead, but Bounty Hunter is right there and he uses missiles, but he's going to be able to teleport back to safety. Well, Edster here is going to destroy the solar boss, kill the solar boss, brutally maim the solar boss, and steal all of its insides, which is lots of money and health, apparently.
Indeed. And so we just looking at how the match this is playing out so far. It's very look at how aggressive Team Aesthetic is being, just tanking that turret by himself, just with the awareness that he can get away with it. But that said, he is doing as much as he possibly can to just find every tiny advantage he can. That's what YOLO is trying to do right now. And it's working out pretty well so far, but it's the sort of thing that can just go so incredibly wrong if you do not play it right. I think they're kind of nervous since Team Aesthetic has to win 2 best-of-5s, that it feels like they're trying to make sure they get every advantage they can and not pass up on any opportunities. They're already kind of playing for behind as soon as the draft even begins. And this means that serious gamers can afford to be riskier. This means they get more chances. They can try and go for more creative outdrafts, and they just have a lot of luxury on that. It doesn't mean Team Aesthetic automatically loses, but they are being pressured. I think things like that, I feel like if they were the winner bracket finalists, for example, I don't know if they would have gone for the solar boss just like that.
I feel like, if I may interject, I feel like the thing that serious gamers should note, though, is that if the bracket resets, any games that they've won also reset. It's not like Team Aesthetic has to win 6 matches and they only have to win 3. If it goes to 2-2 in the first bracket and then Team Aesthetic wins, making a bracket reset happen, serious gamers will lose all of their wins. So really, I think they should just try and they should just try and finish this quick and dirty if they want to, like, you know, really, like, startle Team Aesthetic. They should try and, you know, play smart, but go for the, try not to be too lax in the first bracket. You don't want to let it get to that second bracket.
Exactly. You know, you want to go for the gold, basically, here, you know. Oh, and looks like the Kesney and Jimmy are going to actually be able to take the top turret. I'm pretty sure they pushed that almost exclusively by just tanking it. They barely took I think barely used any droids on that. They're giving it a big advantage, and they might just actually be able to win this pretty shortly into this fight. And a throw is going to come out off the jump pad, not by Edster, though. Now they're in a bad situation. They might just pick up another frag, as Zuji's in a bad spot. Trying to see if he can find Edster. Not going to be able to. He's going to retreat back down to bottom lane. And Body Hunter is going to just pick up some health, clear out the Super Droid, and while Kesney goes to pick up some two tiers of scissors damage and pick up BKM. And that's going to really help render some ineffectiveness on that stun punch, on that throw, on that bull. Is that going to be what does serious gamers need to be doing right now? Because their abilities are getting really hampered. They're out damaged here, and they're close to being out sustained. You know, you have the lifesteal of Dynamite, and that's it, versus, you know, Medican, Wraithstone, and just generally faster, more mobile knives.
I think really what they need to do, or one thing that they can do, there's a couple of things they can do here, but in my opinion, one of the things they can do is just counter-initiate well, because, you know, Ksenia can use Invis to initiate, but she also loses out on being able to use Virtual Girl in order to escape from, you know, a really bad situation, being able to just go through Skoldir if he's body blocking you and, you know, pummeling you with punches after throwing you into the turret. And Jimmy can initiate with charge as well, or try to push you into his turret, but then he'll have no escape of his own, and he'll be rather slow. So really, if they just counter-initiate against Ksenia or Jimmy really well, then I think they'll have a good chance of getting a kill here. But it looks like the bottom turret's actually just going to go down anyways, with YOLO just kind of attacking it. He's got 2 bars now, but he's going to get hit by the stun punch and get taken out of his charge. He's going to take a lot of damage. He's going to go down to Zuji's punches. But I'd say it was worth it as long as Edster does not get picked off here, because Edster can kind of defend, but you got to be careful with the Lone Star being so good at pushing. There's the throw, but the Baby Kermouth is going to make it basically nothing, just a little love tap there. Well, Edster's going to go in biz with the Virtual Girl and destroy these droids. Just kidding, the Super Droid's going to do his job for him. And here comes the Bull. Edster's just going to try and destroy these droids, but they might actually lose top. They are going to lose top. Edster was not able to defend that, but against Lone Star it makes sense that they lost that tower there. But Edster actually kind of going in, misses a couple of scissors there, but doesn't really take too much damage. Zuji's actually able to steal the creep there, misses the throw though. Well, he's taken a couple more scissors. Doesn't seem like he's getting chased. Body Hunter just baiting out with the teleport, but he's actually going to teleport back and spend some of the about 300 solar and get the first stage of Trinomite. And Edster actually trying to get the solar boss, manages to get the last hit before Body Hunter can steal it, while YOLO is just trying to stop him from teleporting, but not going to succeed.
Indeed, and they're going to go ahead and push up that top turret. But look at the throw, and he's going to manage to maneuver around it, and now they're just already out brawling, out positioning, and Team Serious Gamers right out of that turret. And now Lone Star, not much he can really do. He's just forced back on defense. This is such an interesting way. I thought that if you, at the draft screen, that serious gamers really had the advantage here, and I thought that Skoldir was going to mean that they would be punishing the Ksenia and the Jimmy all game, but they both got BKM right away and have just been outplaying all the matches. It's actually really interesting how far they came back.
Yeah, Team Aesthetics actually got a solid lead here of about an entire level and 2 kills as well, and they're pushing these towers pretty strong. They definitely have some good push. It can't really compare to Lone Star and Skoldir. Well, it can compare, it's just not quite as strong as their push. So really it's just a matter of, like, who can push more if they get a wipe, and who can push more off of, like, you know, single frags, and it depends on also who dies. Like, you know, if Skoldir dies, Lone Star can defend pretty well, and if Jimmy dies, then Ksenia can defend okay, at least enough to probably, like, you know, stop a tower from getting taken down unless it's already very hurt, like we saw with the top lane tower before. Body Hunter taking a little bit of damage here though, just getting poked by Ksenia, nothing happening yet. There's a nice charge coming in from YOLO. Zuji's gonna take a lot of damage. Edster's gonna go in, just one more scissor. He's just gonna get the kill with the scissor. But Body Hunter's gonna have to fall back and not try to counter initiate or anything, and that's a free kill, a free frag for Team Aesthetic there off of Edster. And you know, they gotta not let that happen. Like, there wasn't much Skoldir could do there, as you know, Ksenia is just really strong and just great at like poking like that. Edster actually taking tons of damage though. Body Hunter's not gonna be able to chase though, taking about 200 damage from those left clicks there from YOLO, if he manages to land that third hit. Yeah, we're actually seeing auto attack damage coming out like pretty much right away, very early from YOLO as well. It has been good though, giving him about 200 damage every combo, you know, not including the first 2 punches.
Indeed, and really, we see Snowball coming out. Like, you see 2 full levels, as you mentioned, on Aesthetic, and they have so much more upgrades. Like, Ksenia is like already ahead of them in terms of upgrades bot, and it's probably in like 560 solar right now. That is huge. Whenever she goes back, and she's actually picking up yet another solar bot, she's cementing that lead. Like, she is just gonna, she's rich. Jimmy is sitting on 340 and has the most upgrades in the game. Skoldir has picked up Axe Throwing Trophy. He's trying to get a bit more stun and knockback. He's trying to counteract the BKM, trying to bring his throw back to normal so he can kind of rely on his muscle memory a bit more. But I don't know if it's going to be enough. Like, if that's what he needs. Because at the same time, when you see the blue team trying to pick up kills and whatnot, that's going to have to wait a minute. And they get a nice throw onto YOLO, and Ksenia actually sneaks out of there at 1 HP, and that's actually going to be a frag that Team Serious Gamers really needed right there. And they are going to go ahead there and push up this the top lane really quickly. And Edster going to be trying to pressure off Lone Star, but he's just going to get face mited. Now Lone Star is at the turret, uncontested. Looks like Ksenia is actually going to split lane. She knows she has no chance of defending that. She's going to get the droids all up on that. And
Ksenia is absolutely going to be able to take that top turret if she just pushes it right now. Edster's got it at 2 bars. Here comes Body Hunter there at 1 bar. Is he going to commit? He's going to commit, and now he's in Biz for a few seconds here, but he's about to go out. Oh, that punch! He just barely doesn't get hit by that punch. If he hadn't jumped there, he would have hit her, and that would have been the end for Edster. They're actually going to teleport back, and that's already base exposure for Team Aesthetic, and the bottom turret is actually rather hurt here at about a 60%-ish health.
That was so cheeky of Edster and pulled up so perfectly, dude. Oh my gosh. Now we're going to have Super Droids pushing in opposite lanes, but YOLO's going to go ahead and get that cleared up, and it doesn't look like the blue team's Super Droid has been contested yet. They're going to take up the Killer Boss too. They're moving right forward, trying to get a fight going. We're seeing, oh man, still the mullet coming out on Edster, so he's going to be zipping around the map. He's going to be so hard to lock down. It's going to be absolutely insane. Every time a creep or droid or not is killed by him, he has a speed boost for quite a little bit, and he is making it work. He is going in hard. He is constantly baiting. He's kiting. This entire game is running circles around him and just throwing knives, and he might just be going down here. Might have overstayed his welcome. Look how low he is. He's trying to find it, but he's not going to be able to make the last pass, last auto attack of Lone Star. He got so confident. I think he had so much fun zipping around at such a high speed that he was just like, I can run in circles forever. And then he's just like, well, I overextended. Now YOLO's waiting very patiently. He's being Ninja Jimmy. Oh, but he peeked out. They know where he's at. He wanted someone to come by the bush and for him to cheekily try and push him back to his back to bottom turret. And it's not going to work. And yeah. Now, it's just Jimmy versus Lone Star. And looks like he can actually catch this, but the danger pin is going to be a whiff, but he managed to out-brawl him anyways. Pick up the frag, and that's going to be another 1-0. That Team Aesthetic might just be able to win this right now. They do have base exposure with one person just now dead, and they've already arrived, and then you're just doing lots of damage. They have full auto attack damage, full base damage, and Edster has a permanent Froggy Afro buff whenever one of them is dead. Like, they'll never ever be able to take that damage buff away. And just look at how much that's doing. And Zuji going to go to half health, come back. Everyone's going to come in. They're going to look for the fight. YOLO and Edster still hanging out. Edster going to take some more base damage. It's going to force Serious Gamer's hand, which forces them away from recuperating from each other. Skoldir going to go back, pick up a super fast thing that saves the pills. We got the piggyback ink and the perfume white flowers and everything he wants. He knows he's basically not allowed to die right now. If Serious Gamers has another single frag, they might just lose just like that. And Edster and YOLO pick up a solar boss, grab some health, and now we're just doing a really good job running this match.
Uh-oh, looks like Body Hunter's going to initiate, tries to get the bullpen, but isn't quite going to do it. Well, it wouldn't really be a bullpen, it'd just be a normal bull. YOLO doesn't hit the health back, but Zuji's actually going to teleport out. Oh, he's just going to go for the base. Edster's at the base. What? The base is almost dead. I wasn't even paying attention. What is a base? I don't even know.
It's something that's dead at the 15-minute mark, and that's how your game 1 of the grand finals is going to go.
Yeah, that's one game for Team Aesthetic getting a little bit closer to that bracket reset that they need in order to win these grand finals. That was a pretty quick match, and it was pretty in favor of Team Aesthetic. Not really quite snowbally, but once they got that top tower down and Edster got the nice play and didn't get killed for it either, essentially using that bottom tower as bait, well, they killed that top tower and managing to get out alive was a really good play, and that base exposure really helped with them just kind of push the red team back into their base and win the game.
Indeed. Well, what could the serious gamers have done differently to have come back from that?
I feel like there wasn't, like, they had the slightly better draft, but the Baby Current Mammoth was very annoying for both of them. Like I said, just maybe, I mean, it's not, they didn't play bad. The only thing that they really could have, like, one of the things that they could have done was just initiate and counter-initiate a little more coordinated, like, being a little more coordinated when they did that, and, like, counter-initiate a little better. They got picked off a couple times, and that really was kind of that really just wasn't, like, beneficial to them in any way. And then, you know, when they were pushing the bottom tower there, Ksenia just kind of, or Edster just kind of went to the top tower and started killing it. Nobody really went back to deal with that. If Lone Star had gone back a bit sooner, they probably could have gotten an easier kill. Like, you know, a bullpen against the tower would have done a lot of damage. Even if it had gone down anyways, they would have gotten a kill on Edster. But I think they just really wanted that bottom tower down. But base exposure and doubles is not something you can let happen.
I completely agree. Anyways, we're going to take a very short break. This one's just going to be a couple of minutes, and we will be right back with Game 2 of our Grand Finals. It's Team Aesthetic versus Serious Gamers. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. It is round 2 of Team Aesthetic versus Serious Gamers. With me once again is, you guys ready for a really short and stumpy voice? It's Uberancy. See? I knew it. So, Uberancy. I just want to see what his response is going to be. Okay, so
well, you just said so Uberancy. I thought you were going to ask me some super deep philosophical question, but no, you just said my name.
Your name is a deep philosophical question.
Oh shit! Yeah, where did it originate from? If you could figure it out, I'll give you like nothing.
There's the trivia round for the grand finals right there. Okay.
Pretty much.
So, your team 1 is Aesthetic, team 2 is Serious Gamers. You guys know how the bet system works. If you don't, it's you have type who you think's gonna win. Red or blue into the chat right now. You have until the scene transitions to gameplay to get your guess in. If you guess correctly, you'll be eligible for a giveaway after the match. Team 1 is going to be starting out with a ban of Scoop, and in response, Serious Gamers bans out Chucho Croc and Jimmy in the Lux 5000. Team Aesthetic is going to ban out Skull Deer and pick up a Penny, and in response, Serious Gamers is going to pick up a Leon and ban out Nah. That leaves Team Aesthetic to ban out Froggy G, pick up Kesnia twice in a row, and finally end things with a Serious Gamers ends it with a pick of Swiggins. Uberancy, how you feeling about these comps, my friend?
Well, it is Agalon, so you've got that Invis, and you could potentially have a double Invis, you know, like, from both teams, actually, because they've got Ksenia and Leon. And Invis just makes anyone with a sort of delayed burst or a sort of very strong initiation just even stronger. So Swiggins, Ted, Clunk, Derpel, I'd say just Scoop and Skoldier are also very strong ones. Anyone like that will give you'll have a huge advantage if you get that Invisorb. But it could really help anybody. It doesn't have to be just like, it could even be a Voltor or Yuri. And the Invis will just help immensely with being able to get behind your enemies. But I'm not sure who the draft is really in favor for, but we've seen that Penny has put in a lot of work during this tournament, and Ksenia is just very strong, especially in this doubles format where, like, you know, damage is just so good, and you need those like sort of efficient abilities that either have low cooldowns or are very, like, you know, strong, like game changers. And Ksenia has scissors, which basically have no set cooldown because you can pick them up if you miss them and get them very easily depending on your item set. But we've seen, like, I think Team Aesthetic is going to have the much better push, especially if they go with Gun Penny like we've seen throughout the tournament. But Serious Gamers has the has a lot more initiation and lockdown, but, you know, Team Aesthetic just has so much damage, especially, you know, with like Ksenia there. So I'm not sure who it's in favor of, but definitely a stronger push on Team Aesthetic, and I think that's going to make a difference.
Indeed. If you don't have anything else to add to it, man, I pretty much completely agree with everything you just said, my dude.
I'm just that good at explaining stuff.
That's also in a nutshell. That's Uberancy in a nutshell. Alright, so we're going to get into this. I'm transitioning to the gameplay. 3, 2, 1, and we are off. It's Edster playing the Ksenia, Yellow playing the Penny. It's Swiggins being played by Bunny Hunter, and Zuji on the Leon Le Chameleon. And Uberancy, how's this first blood gonna go down?
Well, as I configure my settings real quick of total solar and etc., it looks like there's already a team fight going in with Edster doing a bit of damage with those scissors there. And we're seeing completely basic abilities, no straight up just Gun Penny out of the gates, which is definitely a bit different, but I feel like it's still going to be a thing that happens. I think Gun Penny is still going to happen, but it depends on how YOLO wants to play Penny, but we've seen how strong it is. But either way, enough talking about Gun Penny. I think the first blood is just going to go to a really good initiation from a Body Hunter, or it's going to just come from just so much range damage from YOLO and Edster, you know, like pulse into like scissor combo. Or there's the insane lockdown I was just talking about with Ksenia, going down to Swiggins, anchor hook, and drop, and then getting caught right in front of the turret. Even in Viz, when the turret won't attack you, the enemies can still see you because of that chain, and that's the very quick first blood, about a minute in, very fast. But Edster's already dropping back down. Not much of a push coming out from the blue team yet. Little bit on the top tower here. It's probably going to lose about a third of its health, maybe, but they're going to back off pretty quickly.
Indeed, and it looks like just gonna be a bunch of footsie knots for a little bit, unless they can find a nice another combo again. Oh, look at that aggression from Edster! That confidence in the silence. That's the sort of thing I always get like so about, because if he had messed up that silence just a little bit, then you'd be dead. Like, if you just let that anchor hook hit him. But, oh, look at that tongue. That's going to do some damage, but he's going to beat your girl right away and do some damage. He actually might be going down here. He's going to take a lot of unnecessary damage. And he's going to back out a second. Zuji going to push up the top lane. He's going to dodge the pulse. And things are going to be pretty chill for a second. Look at just the amount of damage that YOLO's Penny does. He's already hitting 12,000 2 minutes into the game. It's an insane amount of damage. And she just racks it up just like that. And he just does such a good job. Body Hunter and Zuji. Oh, that's going to be an anchor break, and that's going to be destroyed. Zuji going to steal the invis. The charges are about getting picked up by YOLO. He's might just get tongued here, and nothing else is going to happen. Enster's looking funny on my replay. It's got the little hunch down glitch. I always see that glitch happen with Ksenia, and I fix this once he rolls again. I don't know exactly what causes that. Run out, please. But anyways, we're going to see Swiggins just clearing out the bottom lane, and yeah, I really think that Swiggins is going to spell a lot of doom for Ksenia here. I think Swiggins was a really good pick versus both Penny and Ksenia.
I definitely agree. Swiggins is great at locking down those mobile knots. Froggy G, Ksenia, Penny. Those knots that are just so hard to deal with and such a pain in the, well, slightly vulgar, but such a pain in the ass to deal with just to, like, lock them down and actually get those frags that you need. But we see the gun Penny coming out from YOLO here, as we've seen throughout this tournament, definitely proving it's worth doing tons of damage and structure damage as well. And we see range on tongue here, so that's going to help with pulling enemies into the turret and into Swiggins' sights. Getting that extra range is definitely beneficial, and it's going to help with just dealing with the fact that they're just so fast and hard to track down. But Enster's in a terrible spot, going to get pulled and gets locked down by Swiggins, giving some free money to Zuji. Well, it's not quite free. You have to kill somebody to get it, but I mean, it's still money.
Indeed. And they're going to get some good push off on this. Zuji getting to push the button and trying to pick them off, but they're going to get pulsed, and the pounce is still going to be a couple seconds. They're all on cooldown. And we're going to see Serious Gamers just back off for a little bit, and yeah, they're just going to try and find the push where they can. And as they start to get some items and really pick up some damage, like you don't see any damage upgrades yet on the blue team, they can really pick them out. I don't know if I agree with them going for the sustain options that they have. Range and AoE makes sense, and I guess I could see Humble Health, but I think right now they should really be trying to emphasize on the fact of how squishy Ksenia and Penny is, and they should really be emphasizing on the fact that if they build right, they can basically one-shot either Penny or Ksenia at any moment. And like this, as you're going to hit by the anchor hook, we still have 3-4, so now they're actually taking a lot of damage. Bot and Zuji going to each take a creep, Zuji going to take the other. He is quite a bit lower. He used the clone to kind of save some time there. And he's just waiting to see someone gets too close to the turret. That is going to be a whiff tongue, trying to tongue him into Body Hunter to just finish him off right through there in front of the turret, but it's not going to work. And Ksenia, what Edzer did right there is he goes in front of the bottom turret and immediately Future Girl's back, even though he doesn't see anything. He's trying to see if he gets any abilities baited. So we'll be like, hey, let's get this guy right quick. Give me the abilities baited. Then Penny comes in, and then they hit all their abilities, and that's how that goes down. Oh,
I feel like.
Go ahead.
Well, I feel like they really do need to capitalize on the fact that Red Team is squishy, like you said, because Swiggins needs a lot of money. He's one of those characters that needs just a ton of money, like Scoop, Swiggins, and I'd argue Clunk as well needs quite a bit of cash in order to get going, especially since he can be melted by characters like Ksenia early on, if that happens to be a pick. But, you know, if you start getting that snowball super early, which they kind of already are, and speaking of which, they're going to get a pick on Enster with a nice lockdown and just all of the lockdown abilities. Just got the pull, the anchor hook, the anchor drop, and then you just kind of stab them and bludgeon them, and they're dead. And that's just how you do it.
Indeed. And looks like Zuji is going to be seeing if he can find the tongue on the lane rotation. It's going to be a whip, so they're just going to push some more. Body is going to use this humble just to even get that tiny much more fraction of a bar off on the turret. And they are going to go heal up and buy some upgrades. Hopefully see the damage out now. Zuji going to be picking up a Stage of Silence. And Body Hunter didn't go back. He's winning an ambush. He's super sneaky. And so was Penny in that little top cave right there. Are they going to make this work? This is really the sort of intense gameplay we've come to expect from Awesomenauts Rumble.
Yeah, the intense gameplay of standing still in the corner.
And
truly the epitome of exciting video games. But we see Zuji grabbing the invis just to burn it, it appears, but he's actually going to have that much longer invis than if he could use this ability. So he's going to be able to initiate. If he gets the silence on Edster and then Body Hunter is able to lock him down, then that's pretty much it. Zuji just waiting. Edster's trying to bait out the abilities, but we just got to wait for Zuji to get a pull, because that silence is going to really help Body Hunter get a anchor hook on him, because, you know, Edster won't be able to virtual grow up, but he actually hits Edster there, gets the anchor hook and the anchor drop. Now he's stuck there for 3 whole seconds, but Zuji's not there and the anchor's actually going to break. Well, Edster's able to get away with, you know, a little bit of a flesh wound, but that's all it is, a flesh wound.
It's only a flesh wound, as they say. So now it looks like Zuji, oh, nice initiation, gonna happen on YOLO. They're just gonna land all the abilities and completely take him out, and that's gonna be an extremely clean 1-0 in favor of the blue team. Once again, bringing the kill lead 4-0 and bringing the level lead to a full 1. And now they're gonna be pushing up the lane and just seeing what all they can do from here on out, because the advantage they are really starting to get is really going to bring a snowball in favor of them at this point.
Yeah, this is exactly what they need to do. They didn't really have any damage upgrades. They've finally gotten their first damage upgrade, which is Blue Heart Medallion. Medal, not Medallion, but the Medallion sounds all sophisticated and cool. But now they finally got a little bit of extra damage, and they're going to die even quicker if they can kill YOLO here. YOLO's got 2 bars, but he's just getting cocky and trying to chase Body Hunter a little. Body Hunter's going to get behind turret. All you need is a pull from Leon, but both Body Hunter and Zuji are just taking a little bit too much poke. They're not too confident here. Ed's just going to steal that health back from both Body Hunter and his teammate, really. But looks like Zuji here is just invis lying in wait. There's the silence and Edster. The anchor hook comes up, but it doesn't hit anything. No connection, but the anchor drop is going to connect. With Edster taking a lot of damage, they know where he is, but not for long. And he's going to teleport, or excuse me, not teleport, but use invis to get out of there, and then possibly teleport. And it looks like that's what he's doing now, or is changing his mind. Who cares? Because that's not too important right now until he initiates once again. And Zuji here just invis, maybe waiting for the droids to kill each other so that he can just grab them without burning invis. But either way, blue team here just needs to clear and get some push going, because they have a good chance of taking out a tower here if they can get another nice initiation like they have been, making it, you know, 4-0 here for the blue team, for serious gamers, doing much better than they were last match.
Indeed, and oh, that tongue out there on the penny, and but Edster coming back in. It's gonna get a little bit of residual damage on both sides. Not really much gonna come of that, but it looks like they will be able to take their choice out really fast. They might be able to find some push here. No, we're actually gonna see a fight as the anchor dive comes in. The anchor hook is gonna be a whiff, and the pounce comes in, and the Leon's gonna just be tugging the creep desperately, like, let me have some help. And now YOLO in a really bad spot. He's gonna be pouncing out. He's gonna be back to safety, and now Edster gonna be chilling. He's gonna be running back. That tongue didn't connect. Okay, I think it was a little bit after the animation process, so the visuals were lingering a little bit, even though the hitbox had already been processed. So that makes sense. That wasn't lagging or anything. That was just the way the hitboxes function mechanically. And now the blue team is just gonna get back together. They might try and find a frag, but YOLO's gonna be staying back far enough, and just they are still staying very, very safe. They're finding the frags. They're finally getting some damage. We're seeing a stage of backstab, a stage of attack speed, and we're seeing a stage of blue heart that was picked up slightly earlier by Body Hunter. And Zuji waiting to find the tongue, and there it is, but Body Hunter is nowhere to be found as he messes up his platforming, and that's gonna make that's gonna be the only reason Edster is alive. I don't know if y'all caught that. Body Hunter actually tried to jump up the right side, but he kind of got screwed a little bit by himself and the moving platforms. Now Edster's back full health, and they are bouncing. He's actually going to find the Leon invisible, but he's taking a lot of damage as counter initiation. He's just going to chill, wait to see if Penny can find anything, but he can't, as they basically just get back to full health and push up that top turret once again. And now Penny and Edster are on the hunt, trying to see what they can find, and they managed to auto attack the Body Hunter. Not much going to happen of it, and we're just going to see everything go back to footsie knots and wait for the next engagement to occur. Uber Rancy, how do you think the next frag is going to come down? Like, actually, let me ask, what does Edster and YOLO specifically have to do to get their first kill of the game?
I think they just gotta, well, what Edster's been doing is trying to bait out those abilities, sometimes with less than success and actually getting hit by them, as Edster is in a bit of a pickle here, but Body Hunter does not have his anchor ready in order to hit Edster with it in the face. But Edster's going to take a lot of damage from Zuji and his pull twice over. But Body Hunter is able to get a pull on him, and now Body Hunter is able to get a pull on Edster. And now Body Hunter is able to get a pull on Edster. And now Body Hunter is able to get a pull on Edster. And now Body Hunter is able to get a pull on Edster. And now Body Hunter is able to get a pull on Edster. And now Body Hunter is able to get a pull on Edster. And now Body Hunter is able to get a pull on Edster. And now Body Hunter is able to get a pull on Edster. And now Body Hunter is able to get a pull on Edster. And now Body Hunter is able to get a pull on Edster. And now Body Hunter is able to get a pull on Edster. And now Body Hunter is able to get a pull on Edster. And now Body Hunter is able to get a pull on Edster. And now Body Hunter is able to get a pull on Edster. And now Body Hunter is able to get a pull on Edster. And now Body Hunter is able to But speaking of, like, talking about the frags and stuff, Edster I think just needs to do what he's been doing and try to bait out that ability without getting hit. If he gets hit, then that's bad. But if he manages to bait out that ability, they've got some really great, just like easy to use range damage. You've got Penny auto attack with Cookie Monster badge, or Penny ranged auto attack with Cookie Monster badge, and you've got double Starstorm. Well, there's double scissor damage on Ksenia as well. So they can both do so much damage, and they might be able to just catch out Zuji here, but looks like Body Hunter is going to come in and save the day and bring YOLO down to low health as well, or just pinch somebody at the bottom lane like that, like, get behind, just get between them and just like, or not get between them, but just surround one of them and just get a kill like that, because that was pretty good how they kind of pinched Zuji there, but Zuji was able to get out due to intervention from Body Hunter, but it looks like Edster's going to take a lot of damage here. Got the slow actually, but he's going to go down to Leon's pull and then an auto attack swing, and that slow, that electrifier blade there really helped with the chasing there, doing a lot of damage to Edster and slowing him down just that little bit that they can chase, with Swiggins and Leon being a little slower than Ksenia, and they're going to take out a tower for their efforts.
Indeed, and that first tower of the game is going to be significant. Like, they're just pocketing more and more solar XP at this point, and we see anchor break damage being picked up by the Swiggins, and I'm really getting scared that, like, we're about to see, I think, if they can find a couple more frags here, just more of these incidental, hey, we managed to win the team fight frags that they've been finding consistently all game, we're going to see a massive snowball. That Swiggins is, like, on the verge, he's on the cusp of really just starting to bust out all the damage, and we'll see tongue damage come out, we'll see magnetic anchor, we'll see magnetic spoon get finished off. Like, look at this, look at all this damage coming out. YOLO's already 2 bars, and that Humble was not even dropped, but actually we're gonna see Leon and Swiggins, they get pushed off, and Zuji kind of overextending, and we're going to see some big whiffs coming up from Body Hunter, making some big mistakes right here. He's being hunted down by Edster, and YOLO's just chilling, he's clearing, he's making sure that he does not do anything that he shouldn't. He's getting scared of the Invisnots, he's just going to pounce away before he even finishes the Joys, even though they weren't anywhere near him. Some paranoia, I think, is really starting to creep out from Team Aesthetic, and some panicking really starting to come out from Body Hunter in terms of how he reacts to the aggression of Team Aesthetic.
Yeah, you really cannot underestimate like Penny and Ksenia's damage now, because they've been building into damage, and the blue team not quite as much, but we are finally starting to see those damage upgrades. You've got double blue heart metal, Magnetic Spoon, and you've got backstep blade, and you've also got electrifier, which is going to give that little bit of slow. That's going to help a lot, and speed and stealth, so that's going to help chasing as well, and escape. But either way, you cannot underestimate auto attack Penny's damage as well as Ksenia's damage just at all. I mean, you got 20% slow on scissors now as well as just so much damage on the scissors with double laser bladed scissors there, doing so much damage, especially if you have high health. Just like, the effective damage is it's so high, and it's just ridiculous.
It really is, and I feel like there's becoming less and less that Aesthetic can do, to be honest. Like, we need to see silence come out, I think, more than anything. Because that's all, the majority, not all of it. They do have strong melee attacks, but auto attacks, but the majority of the damage in Serious Gamers comes from their abilities. They're going to find the chunk of 2 silence duration, and if they can just find kills like this, as they manage to take out Zuji right behind his own turret as soon as it's taken out, and force Body Hunter back to heal up, then that's something that'll be really significant for them. They can just tank the turret. They're going to go ahead and push it up. They're going to pick up some health. The Invis is spawn. They could double stealth and pick a frag on Body Hunter. They felt so inclined right now, but Body Hunter already back, so if they fell back, he would know what shenanigans they were up to. He's going to take a pulse. They might just finish this. They're committing very hard to this. They're going to go ahead and get back. Penny going to go ahead and get back, and they manage to get that turret down to just 2 bars. And now everything is going in favor for once of Team Aesthetic this match. They managed to take a turret without any kills, then pick up their first kill of the game after that turret, using that push to their advantage, and now they seem to have some good map control. The thing is, how long is it going to last? They do have silence now. They have lots of damage now. They have Zurian Mechanic. They have Froggy Afro. But are they just going to go back to losing every team fight now as Swiggins goes in with this incredibly massive AoE damage?
We'll see, but we're seeing the damage come out from Red Team now even more, and then we've got Zurian Mechanic, which is going to really help YOLO keep that gun up, because YOLO has 5 charges now, which means that he's going to have the 4 charge damage on Pounce, with it while being able to retain 1 charge, making it easier for him to get his gun back with the insane range damage. And the way the projectile works for Gun Penny is also very useful because it can bounce off walls and it moves somewhat slowly, which you might think might be a downside, but it can help a little bit with the spacing and stopping the enemy from approaching you if you've got a slightly slower moving projectile that can bounce off walls. But it looks like Edster's going to initiate and actually get the kill on Body Hunter, but he's super low, and Zuji knows exactly where he is. Well, Zuji's taking a bit of damage from Penny here, and he's getting chased. The pulse does not hit him! Does it hit him? That looked weird, but he did not die, actually, from that pulse. Just, you know, you don't have that damage on pulse because you're going for the Gun Penny, and it's just not quite able to get that kill.
Indeed. And now that they have so much map control, they've evened out the levels even, and they're coming back. It looks like there's only one more upgrade purchased on the blue side of things than there is the red. But they're getting so swamped with all the droids, they're constantly having to clear in the incredibly fast clearing. Like, look at this, we're getting a droid ship when the only thing that Serious Gamers is even trying to do is clear out the droids, and Team Aesthetic isn't even in lane. Yet they still lose a bar to top just from that alone. They really need to find a way. They need to realize that now's the time to walk forward, find a frag. I think, get Zuji stealthed up, get Slims to walk forward, and just try and catch them on the lane rotations. And they're letting themselves get pressured back so they get outplayed. They can wait for that perfect initiation. The thing is, even though that would be cleaner if they found it, Team Aesthetic is going to be much more aware of the possibility of that play, in my opinion. They're going to be they play much more actively in a way that keeps them away from that, getting initiated like that, than they would if Blue Team just went into mid. And now Blue Team is actually getting really punished because they weren't able to do anything on the anchor hook, and then when Zuji tried to, he's now in a terrible spot. He really wants to find that frag though, but he's going to get predicted, and YOLO's just there to keep that thing destroyed. That was some great awareness. Edster figured out that they were going to come on the left side of YOLO and just quickly rolled onto the left side. He almost virtual rolled the damage, to be honest. And Penny was just calmly and confidently gunned down the Humboldt. Didn't even use an ability to break it faster, and they just kept doing their thing. I really thought that it was as it was about 4-0 that it was going to be, hey, if we're gonna just take a couple more minutes on the blue side of things and then just pick up some more damage upgrades and win this. But the later this game seems to go, the more in favor it seems to be in favor of Team Aesthetic. And I just don't even know how to explain this. They're just taking the utilities that they picked up and they're managing to just play them perfectly. They're trying to figure out exactly what they need to do, except for YOLO, who's going to be instantly taken out. There's that 5 minutes later damage as you had the tongue, you had the anchor dive, you had the anchor break, and just erase. They can't let that happen. They gotta watch the positioning. That's the clean kill that's a lot less likely, but Edster gonna manage to find Body Hunter on the lane rotation, and now getting aggressive on Zuji. He's gonna be less than half, turning that into 1-for-1. Extreme confidence and cleanup coming out from Edster right here. And now it's going to be stealth versus stealth, ninjas versus ninjas as they go out and try and find the play. 2 stealth knots, right, just fishing for each other. They both get their silences off right quick and just do 50% damage to each other. What is this? This is like a
riveting gameplay.
Japanese anime or something.
Oh my god. Pillow, no, you're not allowed to commentate anymore. You're not allowed to cast anymore after this tournament.
Leon versus Kesnia is like, when you went to oh, that's gonna have to wait a minute as we see the sequel to the anime, and Edster gonna be taking a lot of damage. He's gonna go down to the rate damage right there, and that's gonna be a 1-for-0 in favor of the blue team. Body Hunter barely getting it now, and that might just been the break they needed. But yeah, I forgot what my ninja analogy was going to be.
It was gonna be about frickin' animes and weeaboos, but I'm glad you've forgotten.
Dang, savage.
You know it, but it looks like YOLO here is just going to defend a bit against Body Hunter and Zuji. Zuji just going to push top here, maybe try to bait out YOLO, which he's going to do. Just whiffs that pull, just nowhere near the penny, but they're just going to push bottom anyways, and it's 1 bar, or 0 bars. The turret is now dead, DED. Body Hunter's going to teleport out of there, while Ksenia is going to clear these droids up on the top lane. Zuji's going to teleport as well. Good to see some extra upgrades bot. And we've got shield when you do not have humbled. So shield when you do not have your anchors swinging. So it's going to be a 20% shield, while brawling is going to help a lot after uses all his abilities. A little more damage / DPS coming out from Leon here with the attack speed and the Morning Star piercing. A couple stages of Fanatic Spoon, but we've seen that already. And we've also got a little bit of Invis Duration for Ksenia, and also Pills for Penny. So a little more survivability for both of them, really. And Ksenia being able to, you know, initiate a little more safely because he's got that extra time to stay invis when he initiates, or when he escapes.
Indeed, I completely agree. And now we see Penny just kind of running over that top lane. Now Edster in an incredibly bad spot. He's trying to actually, he finds the frag on Suji, commits to the last second to make that into a 1-for-1. Jeez, he's just being so aggressive and managing to land all that damage. Now Body Hunter's going to get out at just a couple bars, like picking up a creep along the way. And the droids are just going to keep getting pushed back. They can't find the frag that they need at this point. And now Edster just picked up Braided Tentacles. That's going to be the lifesteal on his auto attack, and I think that's going to spell some big problems for the blue team. Braided Tentacles, that lifesteal. Like, we've seen Edster kind of like mess his way around through so much already and kind of always get out low or turn things into 1-for-1. He's going to be a lot harder to kill now, and I think he might just might actually be something that will really help him pull up ahead and be very, very hard to counter. Like, look how aggressive he's going. He's going to go in. The tongue's going to be a whip, and he's going to be like, okay, well, I guess I can go in more. He's going to get some more damage off. He's getting his third hits. He's getting his scissors and just dealing tons and tons of damage to the blue team. They've completely pulled up ahead in terms of the amount of numbers that they put on the board. And they're closing in on kills slowly but surely. And Zuji and Bonnie Hunter are just playing so far back. They are just chilling at those turrets. They do not want to overextend because they feel so pressured right now. The levels are still even. And then there's exactly one more total item upgrade bot on the blue team than there is the red team. And now Edster, he's going to go, he's seeing if he can find anything. They could do double stealth right here. There's a pulse right out of that. Edster going in ham. The clone is going to do some body blocking as that 2-second silence, excuse me, 1.6-second silence wears off. And now Edster, again, just seeing what sort of pressure he can apply here. There's no humble on the swing, so he's free. He doesn't really care that much if he gets tongue. And now he might need to watch out for a second. There it is. But he Victor goes the anchor dive. He might still go down. Good effort, good attempt, but he's getting a little bit too cocky here. Will they be able to hunt down the Penny, though? Pounces out. That's going to be it. Unless you can find a really... Oh, my God. He finds the range zone.
Zuji. Oh, the pull from Zuji's going to get the kill on YOLO just barely. You're never safe when there's a Leon around. And that's going to actually be a bit of a delayed wipe here. And they're going to be able to push bottom quite heavily here. You've got several droid waves incoming. Lots of droid waves. You've got another, like, 4 droids coming in as well. Oh, man, this is going to be brutal here. Ksenia is still dropping now. Just gets back. And then they're going to be able to destroy this bottom. Yeah, they're going to be able to destroy this bottom tower. 3 bars, 2 bars. There's Ksenia, but it doesn't matter because that tower is absolutely going to go down, giving base exposure to Team Serious Gamers here, which is going to help a lot because just base exposure means you pretty much have a win condition unless you're playing on like AI Station of if you get a wipe, you win the game. And even if it is AI Station, as long as it's later on in the game, it's the longer response, you will still win the game. So really all Serious Gamers has to do is just get a wipe like they just did, and well, they pretty much win the game, and they're going to be able to make it 1-1.
Indeed, and we have a massive paradigm reset also, because you do have a Leon and base exposure on the red side of things. That's going to be putting Serious Gamers in a position where they can go a lot more comfortable, except the Serious Gamers dies, Suji gets taken out in a complete 1v2, not a good scenario to be in. They won't get that much push. Hilo is very, very occupied, cleaning up the base, getting all the droids, and getting the red droids escorted out. But on the blue side of the map, the Edster is going to be doing a lot of damage to Body Hunter. He's going to be pushing up that top turret to get that to happen. They're going to tank it. Body Hunter's just waiting for his next cooldown so he can go and play the game more. But Edster and Yellow have that timed perfectly so that they can back up, and they are going to go ahead and just keep map control. Serious Gamers needs to take a second, they need to take a breath, they need to get back together, they need to either find a team fight, or they need to use the pressure of Leon to send Team Aesthetics back. They need
Leon's gonna have all the pressure, he's gonna have the mind games, he's throwing out the taunts now, he's getting into Team Aesthetics' head, just messing with their brain, just being like, oh man, he taunted, that must mean they're gonna do something good, but then Leon isn't gonna do anything good. There's gonna be some serious, absolute like psychology in this match. I could tell, I could feel it.
Indeed. And they're actually going to be falling back, picking up some upgrades. I don't think that was a fall back us of Leon. That was just spinning some solar, trying to cement their lead. They're pulling up. They have exactly, let's see, they have exactly Serious Gamer still has one more upgrade than Team Aesthetic does, and they have one full level advantage. But like they're really proving their worth in these team fights. I really want to see. We're actually not going to see Magnetic Anchor coming out on this weekend. I think that upgrade gets underrated. It does more damage than what is it? Anchor Break if you let the full duration of it go, and still like you need a good 300, 400 damage, especially when someone's laying their ball cycle on the anchor. Like that's a big deal, you know. Swiggin's gonna be trying to see if he can find anything. He's not. They have a tongue ready. They might be able to find a frag there. They're going to be doing a lot of damage. Suzuki might have just overextended here. Seeing a lot of damage, but the anchor dive is going to be a miss, and the entirety of blue team is just on the retreat. They stayed way too long. Instead, Edster are going to get tongue back in, take some more damage. They need to watch out for the pulse, which is back, but Edster manages, Swiggin's manages to take it, and that gives the breathing room for Zuji to go back in, see what he can do. Ultimately, everyone's going to back off now. Everyone's going to disengage, heal up, recuperate, and we see a barrier magazine being picked up by the Swiggin, so he's going to be able to take that much more damage, and it's just getting more intense and more intense as the counter building happens. Body Hunter getting caught out, and they going to take a lot of damage. He might just go down here. There it is as he gets blasted by Edster, and now Zuji in a bad situation. They're probably going to get base exposure off, especially with the whip tongue, and they might just be able to go into base and get it extremely damaged. There is not much that the Zuji can do here. So he finds the tongue, he finds the pot shot tongues, he's trying to draw them off, and Yellow and Edster just really don't give a crap about him. They're committing to base. That's going down to 50%. This might just be over, and there's not much he can do. Zuji needs to start committing to them now. It's like now or never. They're like 99% chance you died. He's done. That's game.
Yeah. That is. We're just going to keep interrupting each other. That is the end of that base, and that is the end of that game, making it actually a win for Team Aesthetic, coming back from the brink of defeat, and actually making it 2-0 on their way to the bracket reset.
Indeed, and now it's basically, in a way, you could almost think of it as a bracket reset in itself, like, because at this point, you could almost say that Zuji and Body Hunter have to win the next 3 games in a row in order to win this, otherwise they have that reset. So it's like, the footing is already getting really even, and serious gamers are about to lose the advantage that they come into the grand finals with. And if they lose that, then it's really anyone's game. And so far, Team Aesthetic has shown that they are really proven themselves to be the dominant team here. They are consistently controlling the map. They managed to, where they failed against the Swiggin's comp versus Humble Bundle, they have completely turned that around. They managed to get that yellow penny in there that just does so incredibly well. As I said earlier, probably one of the top 3 pennies in the game, and just do so much to just keep the control flowing. And it's so incredibly hard to play against, even if you pick penny counters such as Swiggin, such as Leon the Chameleon. Uberency, do you have anything else to add, my friend?
Not really. That was just a nice little comeback from Team Aesthetic, and you've already explained most of it pretty well, so I think that's the end of Game 2 of this Grand Finals, and we should be ready to get on to Game 3.
Indeed. We still have the kill cam reel going, and we'll wait for that to finish up, and then we will go to break, my friends. One of the things that I also felt like was they let themselves get baited by Virtual Girl a lot. That's something you really have to not let yourself fall for, and you know what I mean?
I agree. When I played Ksenia a lot, because back when Ksenia was like, buffed quite a bit, because on release, Ksenia, surprisingly on release, was not very strong. Like, it's kind of the opposite of how it usually works most of the time, because you got characters like Tad, Rocco, and Lux is what I was trying to say, who were all very strong, and Rocco, some of them were even like borderline broken on release and just stupidly strong knots. But Ksenia was kind of the opposite, with her being just not that great at the beginning. I remember the first match I played as Ksenia without knowing anything about her. I went into a just solo queue match, and I went like 4-20. So it might have just been me being trash, but she was not very strong back then. But she's definitely buffed a lot, and Virtual Girl is one of those upgrades that just really helps with her kit, as well as the damage, slow on scissors, just her auto attack being so strong as well. She has had changes as well as not being able to, I believe, cancel auto attacks with scissors, I believe, was a change. I haven't really played Ksenia that much, so I'm not sure how that would affect her, but I heard it was pretty bad. But, you know, she's still definitely super strong, great at melting knots, and great at against structures as well. And Virtual Girl just, you know, gives you iframes on an ability that normally doesn't, which is already, like, really strong.
And we will be right back, my friends. ladies and gentlemen, we are back with round 3 of our grand finals. It's again Serious Gamers versus Team Aesthetic, and with me today is once again Rancy.
Hello, everyone.
Wow.
Yeah, no dumb voice this time. You got outplayed.
Rip me. All right, so why don't you dumbly talk us through the drafts this time?
All right, I'm gonna be as monotone as possible while I talk through the drafts. The first
Like
ban
you're
is
not-
Penny.
so
The
you're gonna
second
talk like
ban
you
is
always
Scoop.
do?
The first. Oh, you motherfucker! Oh, I swore. Oh no, I'm gonna get bad.
I did it, Reddit. Rancy got memed on. Okay, continue.
Damn it.
I'm good now.
All right. Well, as I was saying, the first ban is Penny, second ban is Scoop, and the third ban is going to be Ksenia. You know, all pretty strong nuts, and we've seen them been played. And fourth ban is going to be Froggy G. Well, the first picks are going to be Lux, the Lux 5000, piloted by Jimmy or Amy for Serious Gamers. Well, the second pick is going to be Scoldier for Team Aesthetic. Then we've got the last bans being Chucho and Na, respectively, and the last picks being Coco and Yuri. And this is on Sorona, mind you, so definitely much bigger mid, much bigger map in general, only 3 turrets, and lots of air game, and Yuri is definitely going to be very strong on this map, as well as Coco, I'd say. But what do you think about these drafts?
Looking at the drafts here, I see why they're going for the Yuri here. Yuri is one of the weakest knots in the game right now, in my opinion. While he's still a very strong counter initiator, there's not much he can do on his own. It's very hard to style as a Yuri. Like a Yuri that's just out-brawling is typically a Yuri that's just outplaying mechanically, and it's like something like you could kind of outplayed with anyone there. That said, Jimmy has a tough time trying to find the charges when he's going down lane, and on that same token, if you can put the mines on the jump pads to really limit the map control of Jimmy and Coco, because Jimmy and Coco will take a long time to find some health if they cannot take their jump pads due to the map control, because then they're not that aerial and that they're and Jimmy is kind of aerial but not so much. Coco's very slow in the air. They can really use that to control the area. On the other side of things, like Coco, has a really easy time versus Yuri. If she's able to kind of stay outside the danger zone of Yuri, she can just pop those lightning bolts constantly and just kind of keep poking them until Yuri has to move forward, move back, or die. So I really think that it's like one of those weird situations where Team Aesthetic is outdrafted, but that doesn't mean that they lose the team fights and can sometimes win due to comp. It's like each comp has its distinct advantages that can secure them the win, though I think it's going to be a lot easier for serious gamers. The other side, shout out to Team Aesthetic using that game as broken comp. You know, if their team is famous for, if you do the Scolder throw into the time bubble like ore mines, what else can the throw target even do? That's kind of just right there, done and done, decided. So I don't have anything else to add. Uberance, are you ready to get into this?
I'd say I'm ready. I feel like the big thing for Team Serious Gamers, though, is probably just going to be Baby Curry Mouth. It's going to help a lot against Yuri's time slow. It's going to help a lot against the throw into mines, because unless he gets Axe Throwing Trophy, the throw is pretty much not going to do anything aside from a little mini stun. But either way, enough talking about the drafts. Let's get as I still have not gotten it to start. There we go. Just give me 2 seconds here to get to the 15-second mark, but if you guys haven't already, you can bet on the teams, but I feel like it's a bit too late now. Pilla's probably already switched to the gameplay. Nice. Alright, I am at the 15-second mark. Are you ready?
Yes, sir. 3.
Alright, 3.
Fine,
2.
you do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. It's my job. It's the only thing I'm good for. 3, 2, 1, go.
And we are off. Zuji playing your Coco, Buddy Hunter PT playing your Jimmy and the Lux 5000. On the blue side of things, I'm still going to be playing the Scoldier, and Yellow going to be playing the Monkey. I have not seen Yellow Yuri before, so I don't know how I feel about this. So we'll see what he does. He's already just going behind his turret. 30 minutes in the game. Zuji and Body Hunter have very secure control of mid. Yellow, Steve can go out. He's just kind of waiting on Edster to find a throw at the moment, and he's just kind of placing mines behind wherever Edster goes. And now he's going to slowly sneak his way over to there and just kind of put some mines off the jump pad. And now Yellow gonna just be really trying to control the area with mines. It's really not that much that that they plays that you can make right now. He's gonna pick up that soul with the lasers. Yuji just trying to poke him out with a lightning ball. Edster's still looking for that throw, and Jimmy really doesn't have that much of a chance of trying to flank someone right now, I don't think. But Zuji's just teleporting. He's trying to find the pokes with the lightning ball. He's trying to keep control. I think it might be a second until we find the first blood, because both of these teams, their first bloods are these very clear, like either Jimmy throws one or charges one and the score throws the other into a big fight. And I don't think we're gonna see like that sort of clean initiation happen for a second. Like Ezra threw that Jimmy right there, but no one's gonna like put themselves in a position where they'll actually die if they get initiated on like that for quite a little bit of time, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is Sirona, so you've got a much more, you've got potential for a much stallier game. And really, it's just like Yola's gonna be able to place those mines to just deny area. Well, if you get thrown by Edster into those mines, you're pretty much dead. But there has to be clear-cut initiation for there to be a kill, but that's a pretty good initiation right there. Body Hunter going to take a mine to the face, and the triple punch is actually going to get the first blood at 2 minutes in. Not too bad for Sirona, considering the comps here. And actually, much sooner. It seems as soon as I talk about the first blood, it seems to happen. I'm noticing that.
Yeah, like, if someone asks me how I think the first blood goes down, like, the first blood doesn't happen until I'm done talking. Like, if I ask someone about it, like, they just get interrupted by the first blood. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. No intuitive criticism or intuitive analytic stuff. No, it just happened. It's just blood. Blood!
Blood everywhere. And now we're gonna see, Zuji really wants to warm the droids, but, unfortunately his, warm farming tech ain't up to snuff, so he's gonna be like, screw this, and push up the droids. And, now, ooh, nice double throw coming out from Ed, so the time bubble's gonna not be enough to really secure anything. It's still a really good play. Yolo trying to find the mine, but he just might pay his life for it. And a lightning ball going to come out, hit Edster off the turret, and now it's just going to be Jimmy chilling up in mid. He's only at half health. Yuri going to come in the contest. We see cooldown coming out from the Coco, and that is going to mean that much more poke. She understands her role in this match right now. And Bonnie Hunter just trying to deny that, but he forgets about that monkey's laser. You can't forget the monkey laser. And it's just going to be a little bit more farmer. We see CC immunity coming out on Yuri, but we also see BKM coming out on Jimmy. Everyone's just trying to like reduce the potency of each other's abilities. Picking up those upgrades like that. There's a throw on Zuji. Time bubble not exactly on point, but Zuji eats a mine while he jumps away on the bottom lane and but at the cost of Body Hunter managing to get in some push on that top lane. And that's going to be the first real push of the game, and he's actually maintaining mid while he waits for Coco to get back. He's even warm farming. Now Etzer going back, he's picking up boots. And yeah, I still think it's anybody's game. Like, there's been no snowball to upgrades or even levels or even, I don't really feel like the first blood happened, you know what I mean?
I know what you mean, but we are going to see like Baby Curry Mammoth come out on Lux, which is going to help a lot considering Team Aesthetics comp here. It's very reliant on the throw, but the throw is still going to be useful, able to throw him towards the jump pad. Found a Bounty Hunter. A Body Hunter is going to hit the jump pad, with Yolo being super low in the enemy creep area, and he's going to take those missiles to the face and go down to those missiles to the face.
Oh man, and now Body Hunter and Zuji are just gonna see if they can get the push off, but they managed to do a good bit of damage to him. And they are actually keeping that control. Zuji's trying to bait the throw, and he's looking to see if he can find the lightning ball. Body Hunter already going to town on that bottom turret. Doing a lot of damage. The Quake is going to hamper them. It's not going to do that much. Headster trying to control that mid, patiently awaiting Yuri's arrival. Not much more he can do. He does not want to overextend in 2v1. He's managing to land these Quakes that do a nice bit of poke. That DOT just burning away at the life bars of Jimmy and Coco. But he's not finding the stun punches quite yet. If he keeps on landing the Quakes and he gets Snare, then that's going to be very, very, very bad for the red team. Because if he can Snare Quake into Stun Punch, into Throw, into a Yuri, that's like a guaranteed kill at any phase of the game. And it's something that the red team is going to have to really watch out for. And I would be constantly tabbing on Edster, bringing up the scoreboard and seeing what items he has, because that can make or break a team fight right there.
It's always important to pay attention to the enemy team's items, because some items are just so, like, you know, ability changing or game changing, like, you know, Snare Quake is just such a big difference, because it's like a I'm trying to find the word for this, but you know, it's like a sort of average length snare, but it's on such a strong ability already with like 350 damage DOT. It's stronger than Nas Spit, and it goes over 5 seconds instead of 9. But you know, adding a snare to that and the potential for a height upgrade or a range upgrade or both is just absolutely nuts. So you really got to pay attention for that, and it's absolutely going to change the game, especially with the Yuri on his team being able to make those throws even easier. Because it's essentially, you have Scolder, you're going to have at least one way in order to secure those throws. Like that one, they're going to get thrown into 2 mines. Body Hunter going to take a lot of punches as well, but the laser's actually going to finish him off. And YOLO is going to get the next frag, with Zuji actually being very hurt. Oh! Just gets stun punched and just is forced to stand there and take the mine to the face. Even more blood, making that a delayed wipe for Team Aesthetic here. And they're going to be able to have a nice push here, and on Serona, that's a huge advantage. They should really be committing to one turret instead of splitting here, because they're not going to be able to kill both. Maybe they can kill bottom here, though, because they've got 2 droids.
Yeah, and
but it looks like
a 3rd droid, and they're doing a bunch of damage. I always say that bottom turret just has such a small HP bar. I'm not sure exactly how much it is in Body Hunter. It might be going down here. While Yellow picks up the health, and Coco going in, trying to find that lightning ball assassination. Esther survives it so low, and Esther's just gonna keep hanging out around this lightning bolt to keep Coco baited. That should taunt. He should taunt while he does that. To be honest, I don't know why he doesn't. Just get in their head.
Yeah, you gotta get into the minds of your opponent. You gotta pull out the BM strats. It's not to be mean. It's in order to get an advantage, an edge.
And now Coco and Jimmy, they're going to be controlling the top lane, pushing everything out. They're trying to keep control of the map, trying to keep that bracket reset from happening. And Esther is going to go in. He finds another throw on Jimmy. That BKM means he doesn't go that far. And he gets beat up a little bit. Jimmy gets beat up a little bit. The lightning ball comes out and doesn't hit a thing. And now there's just going to be contesting mid again as they fish out for each other with auto attacks, their abilities. Not much really occurring. They just kind of keep check. Everyone's like tossing their abilities into mid, but no one actually wants to be in mid, is what's kind of interesting. Except now Ezra goes in and gets lightning balled off the jump pad trajectory. That's going to kind of put him in a screwy position. Now he's going to go in, see if he can find another throw. He finds it on Jimmy, and that time bubble's going to be in them, but Jimmy's still super mobile because that BKM just kind of really helping him out here. Ezra going to take up his creeps, and now Coco is going to be go ahead, and she's going to look for the lightning ball, I think, and probably see if she can find some more pokes. She's trying to bait. Coco is really good damage in a team fight, but she's not really a good initiator. Like, she can be, but like, you're not as afraid of the possibility of a Coco knocking you back and starting the fight off a jump pad as you are like a Leon or a Scolder or a Jimmy or a Swiggins or a Genji or anything like that. You know what I mean?
I do, know what you mean. I mean, Coco can still be pretty terrifying depending on the upgrades, but we're seeing speed and regen rather than something like, say, double damage on Lightning Ball. If it were double damage on Lightning Ball and cooldown, then that would be a little bit scarier, but, just cooldown means you're only going to take about 450 damage from each Lightning Ball. Still definitely not something you want to get consistently hit by, but it's something you can afford, because, I mean, Edster only took 2 bars of damage there, and he's just going to be able to punch everything to smithereens and get all of his health back through magical white healing flowers.
Indeed. And Coco and Jimmy are just kind of going around, seeing if they can fight. Ed's going to whip the throw, and the lightning ball going to come out onto YOLO. Not a good team fight for Team Aesthetic. They're going to fall back for a second, recuperate, and try and pick up some health. And Coco and Jimmy really haven't been able to find much yet. There's the time bubble, and ooh, a nice little poke. YOLO trying to see if he can find the face mine, and he gets a little bit too clammy there, and picks up some health, and they're just going to be pressured back. Serious gamers have pretty much declared mid to be theirs. Edster keeps trying to contest it with the throws, and he's going to get charged back. At what cost was that throw? But YOLO going to come in with some great counter initiation, that time bubble and face mine, guaranteeing Edster's safety. We're just going to have another paradigm reset. Edster's going to keep finding those throws, and he's either going to kill himself or like win the game doing that. I haven't figured out which one it is, but we shall find out shortly. Edster and YOLO just trying to keep control of everything they're doing, and there's the lightning ball. That's gonna be a whiff. Not much really happening. There's one missed auto attacks coming out from both Edster and Scolder, who kind of both do the same role on each team through their teams. And yeah, the poke from the lightning ball is always coming in. I think the lightning ball is contributing a lot more than the monkey right now. Like Zuji can do things like without Body Hunter, but I don't really feel like the yellow can do that much without Edster, just the way that these matchups play out. And look at that lightning ball, but the time bubble is going to save his life once again. And he just kind of awkwardly runs out of there at just one bar, proccing his abilities as an escape. And yeah, not much really occurring right now. Uberance, how do you think the next frag's gonna go?
Oh, you had some weird cutout there, but I did hear that last bit. The next frag, I think, really is just, well, it's not a very high frag every game, but the throw into Yuri Mines has been pretty consistent and has netted a couple of kills here. But we could just see some nice initiation from Lux here, but it is just kind of a slow game here. Like, Edster's got the better initiation here, but because of Baby Curry Mammoth, it's a little harder for him to get those kills on Body Hunter. But speaking of which, he might just do that as soon as I'm saying it, just, you know, saying, oh, it's not so easy for him to get kills on Body Hunter. Almost kills him there, and Zuji's going to get a nice lightning ball in order to knock Edster away and get to safety there. But, you know, just Edster initiating with the throw into Mines or into Yuri, or both, really, and that would be a good way to net the next kill, but they might just try to push bottom in here anyways without getting that kill. And the tower's actually going to go down. They're not going to chase Zuji and Body Hunter, and Body Hunter is going to teleport out back to safety, while Zuji's just going to throw out some lightning balls in order to maybe prevent this push, but there's not much he can do here. But here comes Body Hunter again, just jumping in, doing a lot of damage to Edster. There's the throw from Edster, though, onto Body Hunter, taking a lot of damage, but YOLO is taking just as much damage, so much damage on everybody. Everybody's pretty hurt here. Zuji maybe trying to bait Edster out with the teleport, but instead just going to clear these droids here, make sure that the turret doesn't take too much unnecessary damage. Well, Body Hunter is now back, but Edster's actually going to teleport out with his 400 solar here and buy some upgrades. Oh, and we're going to see Oily Spray on Bronze and Range Punch on Skoldir here. Flaming Fist, which is very strong. He's going to be able to poke much more efficiently, and he's going to be able to punish even harder when he gets a throw, or punish just, you know, bad initiation from Team Series Gamers here. It's going to make Edster much more of a threat, I think. We're seeing auto attack damage from Lux as well to help with that brawling. We did see this a little in the last fight. You know, it was definitely showing that his auto attack is not to be trifled with, and we're also seeing a little bit of ball damage as well. So we're seeing more damage come out from Team Series Gamers here, while we're seeing the better poking and initiation from Edster, better than he already had. But there's a nice little throw on Body Hunter, but because of Baby Curry Math, he's not going to go very far. Here comes the punches here. No Oily Spray on Bronze anymore, but he's going to do quite a bit of damage to Body Hunter here. Body Hunter's going to get back, though, and have the lifesteal on auto attack here, and get the creeps in order to get back to full health and be restored, and repair his little suit. Body Hunter using missiles right in Yuri's face, but that's kind of a mistake here, because Skoldir can just go into the stun punch, but that doesn't matter, because Body Hunter's going to be able to get out safely, while Edster here is going to try and get a throw, but not able to get that attack speed or movement speed bonus. Well, Edster here is just trying to land those punches, get that initiation, and get in there with the throw, and just do all the work that the blue team needs, that Team Aesthetic needs, in order to secure those kills, in order to maybe get that top turret down, or maybe even try to body the back turret here and do a ton of damage to it. But there's a nice throw on Zuji. Zuji does not have Baby Curry Mammoth, so that's going to throw him a lot farther. So might be a little bit confusing if you throw two different enemies. One's going to get thrown a mile away, the other's just going to get moved 2 inches. So quite a big difference there. We're actually going to see laser damage come out on Yuri as well as boots, giving him a little bit of extra movement speed and mobility in the air. Quite useful on Serona. And then you're just going to have the extra damage on auto attack, maybe help with the brawling a little bit and get those kills. There's a nice face mine on Body Hunter, but now YOLO's in a terrible spot, going to take a auto attack and a lightning ball to the face and go down, making the next frag actually go to Team Serious Gamers here. Just catching out Yuri in a bad spot. YOLO getting a little too cocky there.
Indeed, and one of the things I'm noticing right now is it looks like the confidence in the brawls is becoming more and more confident in favor of Coco and Jimmy in the Lux 5000. Like, Edster's like not really like flaunting as much. He's not doing the things like earlier when we talked about he's staying around inside the time bubble at 1 HP because he knows he'll live. Like, Jimmy and Coco are like going into these fights not necessarily confident that they'll win, but like, hey, let's see just who outplays who, and whoever outplays who deserves to be the winner of the team fight. And so they go to the end and they try their best to out mind game, outplay, and like Edster and YOLO are actually starting to really get pressured back quite a bit now. And that's despite the fact that the upgrades are still in favor of the team aesthetic. And and the turrets even, and the kills, but they just really don't want to lose this advantage. This match is important for Team Aesthetic because they can go and take this to the bracket reset right now. That's going to be extremely significant for them, and it's going to put them in a really bad spot where they cannot afford to lose at all anymore if they let Serious Gamers come back. So they are really on top of their game. This is kind of a very crutch point for them. This is like a tipping point. If they lose this, then things start to spiral out of control, and they have to basically be on point every single game. And just like that, that throw into the turret is going to be the cleanest frag that we've probably seen all game, maybe all day. Just a quick, hey, I found you, AK, you're dead. Just that simple, like so mechanically clean. And now they are tanking that top turret, and Jimmy's out there to contest with the missiles. Not much he can do. He's going to get thrown, but the BKM going to be putting him in a good spot. And now he's going to be reconnecting, and Etzer and Yellow...
what a bad time to reconnect.
Well, Etzer and Yellow, they actually stopped pushing that. They probably could have pushed it further, even if he had just reconnected, but they decided to just be cool there and do the right thing and do the moral thing and make sure this is a fun game for everyone. Good guy, Etzer. Good guy, Yellow. Yay. So that said, we're going to see kind of a paradigm reset just like this. And you see the snare card. He's going to catch out Zuji, but he's Esther zoned out by Jimmy and the lightning ball to go ahead and like try and make any plays like that. And he's going to whiff the throw. That lightning ball is going to be a whiff as well. And now they might just go in. They're going to find the snare quick. The stun punch isn't going to connect. Now Edster just kind of farming the droids, trying to get his health back and keeping things cleared. And Body Hunter has like the reactions of a god there, trying to warm Edster 5 seconds after Edster leaves that warm. But hey, it happens. And nice stun punch. He's gonna throw them out of the way and then beat up Zuji. He's taking a lot of damage and barely gets out of a bar. And then the DOT is actually gonna finish up Yellow. It was a nice idea of what they had. Throw Body Hunter to oily on Zuji and use the time bubble to exemplify that, but just overstayed your welcome, man. That DOT is the last hit, and that's just putting Bonnie Hunter and Zuji right back into this. They might just take this bottom turret, but Coco's actually getting kind of scarily low at this point, and Bonnie Hunter is going to manage to last hit it. And now it's going to be Edster in a 1v2 scenario. The droids are trying to get a little bit out of control. He needs Yuri to get back in lane, who is now passing the base. He's probably going to go ahead and clear up that back there while Edster goes ahead, sees if he can find anything. He's just trying to keep the map control, trying to scout out, see at what point the team Serious Gamers is going to be back in lane, which is now, and he's going to give up mid to them. They have some droids to clear before they can go and try and hold mid. And yeah, not much really occurring right now. The Yuri's just camping it up with the mines. He's making sure that pushing that top turret is incredibly hard. Body Hunter in position. It's like overextended right now, but if they drop down on him, he gets to charge them, which that means a big play regardless comes out from either side. And Edster going in, he's going to take a super joy, but at the cost of putting Zuji in a bad spot. He's going to silver code it out. Time bubble is going to be a whiff. Jimmy just seeing if he can find anything is not going to the lightning ball. It's going to pressure them, get both members of Team Aesthetic to 50% health. And now they are going to find that super droid and use that for the oily boost. Now we see a big 1v1 come between Bonnie Hunter and Edster. Edster has a lot of work to do right now. He's going to be preoccupied, and Coco's going to be farming up. And Body Hunter is getting fucked out by that laser a bit. He's going to go ahead and missile up the droids, just safely go ahead and keep those coming up. And now we have that lightning ball hit. Nope. So no poke, and they might actually find the throw. And Jimmy is already charged, has already been used, but the quick is going to be whipping. They get some missile poke. Should see the blaze coming out. The lightning ball should be coming out very, very shortly. No, what they're just going to fall back a bit. Except Edster going in. That's a whiff throw, and now we're going to see a big fight coming out. As the time bubble traps on both of them. Yuri taking a lot of damage. He might just be going down here. There's going to be a 1-for-0 so far. They might just find Edster, depending on what the cooldowns decide to do here. He's going to manage to quake both of them. He might manage to find the frag, so that lightning ball is going to be the disengagement needed, and they're both going to get out. They manage to get that turret down to 3 bars and take out Yellow in the process. That's going to bring back up to 4 kills, even up the lanes, and they might just be able to take top turret after this. Edster's taking a lot of damage. He cannot hang out too much, but he managed to pick up some health. He's actually hunted them out. He's trying to see if he can pick up the frag, clean up after that. After they use their bodies to tank that turret, and that turret is just so low. And more and more, the map control seems to kind of really be going to Serious Gamers in these situations. What would you say that either team is actually ahead right now? Because I mean, look at the turrets, look at the levels, look at the items bought. Like, these turrets are identical. These just actually a little bit less, like probably about two-thirds of a bar less on the red side of things. But yeah, oh, Etzer gonna get the throw. He's gonna get onto Jimmy. That time bubble's gonna be there, but it's not gonna be enough. And now, they are both on their cooldowns. Pressure back. Red team might just be able to take the top turret off this, but nope, they're just gonna miss out the droids instead. And they're gonna chill and just wait for the right moment. They can take it at any time. They might just take it off this if depending if the Jimmy's in position. The Coco can't really face the turret by herself because she has to get right up and close with it without her bodyguard being there. And there's going to be a throw. Not much going to come of it. And charge back. There's going to be a lightning ball. It's going to hit both. The time bubble's out. The mine's not going to connect to anyone. And yeah, Yellow going to take up the creeps. And they're just, as you're going to keep on fishing out with the punches. Not much occurring right now. Not much occurring. How's the next frag going to happen, Grancy?
I'm not too sure. I think maybe either team could get a little too aggressive, like just right now. Oh my goodness, what is happening? But Body Hunter's just going to get too aggressive and actually get thrown by Edster and then get just bodied by Edster and Yuri, getting body blocked by Yuri as well. But I was about to say, it wasn't actually the complete sentence. I think I was going to say one team is going to get too aggressive pushing the turret, but really Body Hunter just got too aggressive in general, and that's going to cost them that top turret there that was at about a bar. Zuji taking a bit of damage. They're actually going to get thrown to behind his barrier. The other way might have been a little more beneficial, but it doesn't matter. Team Aesthetics is going to try and body this turret a little bit. Not really doing any damage yet, but YOLO just poking at it with the laser, going to grab that health back, while Edster is just clearing these droids. Trying to get some ground back and trying to finally get pushed up, but here comes Body Hunter from behind, and Edster's low. This could be really bad, but Edster's got that heal punch, the Earthquake in nice positioning in order to stop them from pushing too far. YOLO's going to go back, but Edster's getting chased. The heal punch is going to help immensely. Nice throw by Edster too, and able to get all of that health, and able to grab that next creep if he desires, which he's going to do. That was a really good play from Edster, and is already back in tip-top shape, ready to initiate for another day. But looks like Zuji here trying to avoid that Earthquake, but it doesn't matter. Edster's going to take a bunch of damage though, and Zuji's going to get the last hit with that DOT, but he's also kind of low health here. But it's only YOLO here to defend. YOLO can defend, but he's got to be careful of the lightning ball like that. You're going to do a lot of damage. Not able to kill those creeps. You're going to lay a couple of mines here so that they can't just push up to the front turret, or the back turret, excuse me, so easily. And it looks like YOLO's actually going to buy mine damage. I'm not actually sure if mine damage applies to mines that were already placed after you, and then you buy the upgrade. I'm not sure if the damage of those mines actually increases, but that doesn't really matter right now. Body Hunter is just trying to poke with those missiles, actually able to land all 4 of them, I believe. And the lightning ball is going to hit YOLO as well, doing a lot of damage, but he's got that heal bubble, and the creeps up top, well, one of them anyways, most likely, and he's going to be able to get back into fighting shape. Well, all of Team Serious Gamers is actually going to teleport back and buy some upgrades. We've got increased speed on charge, we've got blind actually on lightning ball, as well as a bit of pills here, and that's going to be an interesting CC choice. But it looks like Edster's actually going to be blind for a whole 3 seconds here and taking a lot of damage here. Blind is still very good though. It's just not the greatest CC, but it does make it a lot more annoying to fight, especially if you jump away. It's so hard to chase enemies while you're blinded, and for 3 whole seconds, that's a long time to be blinded for. We're seeing Barrier Mag come out on the Skuldir, basically increasing your effective health by 5%. It's also very good against high bursts, so something like Lightning Ball here with low cooldown that's going to help a lot against that. There's Edster with the nice throw on Zuji, and Zuji's just going to get melted right in front of that turret. Just going to go down just insanely fast, and there's YOLO with the last on the laser, and it looks like they're going to push in, gets a nice face mine on Body Hunter. If you can get this hit on Body Hunter, they might be able to take this back turret and maybe even the game. He's going to get the throw and the Snare Quake, and Body Hunter's going to go down to the laser. That's YOLO getting 2 kills, not doubles though. Don't say it, you're not getting the skin if you say it. Don't even try it. But looks like they're going to push this. It looks like they're going to push this back turret here and body it, and Skuldir does so much structure damage, and Yuri's not exactly bad at it either, especially with damage upgrades. Coco's back, but they're already doing a ton of damage to the base. Not quite melting status, but I'd say it's more like slightly simmering this turret here. Well, Edster's pretty much half health, but he's going to be able to get some health off of these droids, and Zuji is right there kind of baiting out the throw, baiting out the punches. Really tempting fate there, but Edster's going to be able to stay safe. Well, YOLO got back, and that's about half of the turret's health gone. But that's the problem with Serona, getting the nice kills that close to your turret. Yeah, I mean, like, even just that close to, like, your side of the map. Serona's a very big map, so they got to clear a lot of droids, and they've also got to walk quite a distance in order to keep that push on the back turret. But we've got another stage of Barrier Magazine coming out, as well as rocket damage coming out on Missile Barrage. from Lux here, and double damage on mine. So seeing the last bit of damage upgrades that both these teams need, you know, you've got mine damage, you've got missile barrage damage, and you've got a little bit of health and, well, effective health coming out with Edster trying to get that throw. Doesn't quite get the throw on Zuji, but he's going to take a little bit of damage, not too much so. There's a lightning ball coming out, not going to hit anything. I don't even think it even hit the droids there. Looks like Zuji's just trying to hit them with the blaze, hit them with the lightning ball. The blind ball is going to really help against the droid waves too when they're in the mid like this. The droids are just going to stop, but if he's not careful, it's going to get those droids all backed up like that, and the droids are going to be able to regenerate health. Zuji going in, trying to get that health pack, and he's going to be able to steal what Edster is low health, but grabs the health pack from under the worm here. Looks like Bounty Hunter's trying to not be a little bit cautious, but he's actually forget caution. He's just going to go straight in against YOLO. YOLO is so hurt, but he's able to get those creeps, it looks like, and Zuji just hanging back while Bounty Hunter's kind of going in against Edster here. He's going to get the throw, and it looks like Bounty Hunter is just taking a little bit of damage, but not too much. He's got that shielding that's really going to help keep him alive here, especially with the regen and the pills, and the lifesteal on auto attack going to help a lot. And Bounty Hunter and Zuji both kind of falling back a little, and now we've got a little bit of ground for the red team here. Edster just gets the throw on Zuji, setting him flying, but Zuji's going to take a little bit of DOT damage here. YOLO trying to go in with the face mine, not going to happen. Bounty Hunter going back for the creeps, while Edster is going to clear these droids along with YOLO. They're trying to get this ground back, and both of Team Serious Gamers is actually going to teleport back. That's going to give blue team a lot of ground here if they're not careful. Looks like there's actually knockback pulse on Missile Barrage, something you don't see too often, mostly because it's a very late game item, it seems most of the time, and not that popular, but it's going to give you that knockback after Missile Barrage. I think even if it's interrupted, it still does the knockback effect, so that's going to be helpful for getting a little bit of breathing room, aside from, you know, charge being able to be used for escape like that right there. But we've got Edster and YOLO just kind of clearing stuff on bottom here. Well, Zuji is getting chased actually by Edster. Edster barely misses the throw there, but Bounty Hunter's going to go with the charge, do a little bit of damage, not too much, but he's going to take some damage. Not going to get hit by the face mine, or is he? That's a nice punch on the jump pad there. Bounty Hunter about half health. Does not land the throw, but mine does not land either. Not able to land that vital damage that he needs to, or that they need to, in order to get that kill on Bounty Hunter now. And it looks like the mine's actually going to do a lot of damage to these droids here. Well, Edster is just clearing this out while Yuri goes and gets some health and returns to the battlefield.
Indeed. And that's going to be, oh, might get caught by the sun punch. That was close. That could have been another just free kill. I'm really, I gotta say, I'm kind of rooting for Team Aesthetic at this point. I really want to see them get into that bracket reset. They're so close to doing that. I just hate to see them, like, Serious Gamers win the next two matches, and then they lose, and then it goes to bracket reset anyways. But they have to play careful. They can't overcommit or overextend. And as long as they continue to play calmly and confidently, and knowing the plays that they can make, and knowing the plays they can't, and not missing throws, but Bounty Hunter taking a lot of damage anyways, he might get picked off here, as the stun punch is going to be picked up the frag, and Edster trying to find him, and he's going to manage to get the throw. That looks weird, and he's in a bad spot, and he's just keeping that tracking going. YOLO's kind of low. He's just trying to make sure that, oh,
what? That punch didn't hit? What?
Zuji is like straight up pulling a Mr. Manager here, just like keeping them distracted. Okay, he's done.
He just kind of threw him in his own lightning ball. That's what it looked like. It looked like Zuji blew himself up.
Yeah, I was about to say, and then the last hit gonna go to Zuji, onto Zuji.
Damn, I didn't know you could kill yourself as Coco.
You can kill yourself as Clunk, why not Coco?
Actually, I guess you could kill yourself as Coco if you throw a lightning ball at an Arbe Froggy. Can you detonate the lightning ball?
That'd be dumb. That would have been easily prevented homicide.
But either way, we've got Team Aesthetic pushing this tower here, and Coco just getting back now while Bounty Hunter's trying to defend here. Gets thrown by Team Aesthetic here. Edster. Bounty Hunter gonna take a lot of damage. He's gonna throw missiles when he really should have just ran away and used the charge shield in order to survive. Edster taking a lot of damage here. He's got no health. He wants to body that turret, but he doesn't have the health to do it. Zuji's just like trying to get that lightning ball. Misses though. Edster's gonna get all that health from creeps as well with the lifesteal. Tower's gonna go down. 3-second respawn till. Oh, that might be it.
Oh man, that was so.
We are gonna see a 3-0 bracket reset if they decide to actually kill the base here, and it looks like they are just trying to get that droid wave in of like 8 droids. Ridiculous. But yeah, here it is. Gonna throw those droids out of the way. Gonna do a ton of damage. But Bounty Hunter's actually gonna charge right in, just super fast. Almost kills the droids. Got a weird animation where it looks like he's missile barraging forever, but that doesn't matter. Gets the throw on Bounty Hunter and the snare quake. He's gonna be able to body block him, and the stun punch is gonna cancel his jump. He's not going to get away, is he? Oh, it looks like it, but it doesn't matter because they're going to kill the base, and Edster's going to get the kill on Body Hunter because why not? And at 30 minutes and 10 seconds, that is a win for Team Aesthetic, making it a bracket reset.
What a match! What a match! So, they kept finding, Edster just kept on finding those stun punches towards the end, and we just kept on throwing people and setting up some insane initiations with that throwing trophy. And like, it got to the point where it just became such a bad situation if Coco or Jimmy got caught out by that stuff, even though they had that early game advantage for quite a bit. Well, that said, what should serious gamers have done differently?
Honestly, they were looking pretty good in the sort of mid-game there, but Edster just started throwing some really nice punches there, and that Snare Quake and Axe Throwing Trophy helped immensely. I'm trying to think, like, I'm just trying to think from their view, like, what would have been the best thing to do in Team Serious Gamers. Body Hunter was maybe a little too aggressive, just a little bit less aggression because it's Serona, it's a stalling map, you're playing against a Yuri. You gotta be safe. It makes the game long, but it's really all you can do, especially against a Yuri on Serona. It's just like you're gonna have a long match, and there's not much you can do unless you just want to throw the game. And and plus the drafts were, I'd say, in favor of Team Aesthetic. I mean, Yuri on Serona is very strong. Even if you think Yuri isn't that strong, like Yuri on Serona is strong, and with the Scolder, he's very strong. You've got great counter initiation too against Team Serious Gamers already who lack of initiation. So I'd say Body Hunter being a little less aggressive and maybe a better draft would have helped immensely.
Yeah, I completely agree. And well, once they just found those pickups, though, it was like over. That just not getting thrown, as you kind of said, was what they could have had. The big one was when they found Body Hunter right behind his barrier off the jungle. That was when they were guaranteed, like, hey, we are actually really more likely to win this than not now. That was very, very significant. At most, they may have found 4 or 5 bars off that, but instead they snowballed and got that turret to less than half. And then the big mistake of Jimmy was when he missiled while still in laser range, and if he had just walked to the left, he would have been alive. But then, just like before he even respawned, they killed out Zuji and just finished everything off. And yeah, that was game just like that.
That's what I kind of meant by the too much aggression. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to run into the enemy's turret. It's just the little things, the little mistakes can really change the game. Like, using missiles instead of just walking behind turret and then using missiles was a big mistake because he just got killed by the Yuri laser. Going to the bottom lane trying to grab a health pack but then getting caught out by the Scoldier and then Yuri coming in with the face mine and body blocking you, another mistake. And then sometimes Edster was just pulling out the God Gamer throws and just getting some nice picks. But either way, we're done, and that's a bracket reset. So now it is going to be 0-0 once again, and whoever gets to 3 wins on the next set is going to win the Awesomenauts Doubles Rumble. Awesomenauts Rumble Doubles Tournament. We will be right back.
行くのじゃゼル。お前こそが最強のロボットだ。今からでも遅くはない。クーデターを中止しろ。
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with Awesomenauts Rumble. We are in the second series of the grand finals. My name is Mr. Pillow, and I was just thrilled to see Team Aesthetic manage to create the bracket reset that they needed, as they gave Team Serious Gamers their first 3 losses of the tournament. Now, as we watch the final series of this tournament unfold, I'm here with Uberancy. It's match game. The next 3 wins determine the victor of the entire tournament. Uberancy, why don't you take us through the drafts, my friend?
Alrighty, so the first game of the second set in these 2 best of 5s are actually getting the bracket reset here. Team Aesthetic, is getting the bracket reset here. And we are ready for this next set, and we will see who will take home the grand prize of $150 plus commissions from Lucky Time. I don't know if there's anything else I'm missing, but either way, we're going to get into that draft here. Starting with the first bands. The first band is going to be Derpal, and it is Ribbit, so it's definitely makes sense to ban Derpal on Ribbit. Like, Derpal is extremely strong on Ribbit and just smart ban. But either way, we're going to get into the next bands. Then we have Penny being banned by Team Serious Gamers, and we have Swiggins being banned by Team Aesthetic to retaliate, as well as a Lux ban from Serious Gamers once again. The first picks being Gnaw for Team Aesthetic, and then the next pick being Ksenia for Team Serious Gamers. And then we've got the last bands of Froggy G and Chucho, and then the last picks being Leon and Lone Star.
Indeed, and look at the comps. All 4 Gnaws, and I saw this comp variation of it. I saw Gnaw and Ksenia versus Leon Lone Star when Serious Gamers versus American Mojo, but and it was a very close match. I'll tell you the same thing I told Slow when we were casting that. Comps like these, they come down to the mechanical skill of the players. It comes down to if Ksenia, for example, manages to land all her whole auto attack combo and everything she does, but for example, the Lone Star only hits. The Gnaw only hits 1 out of his 2 weed slams and still hits the spit. It comes down to Leon managing to get in those extra auto attacks with his clone in addition to his tongue and his own damage, but Lone Star only hitting 2 out of his 3 of his dynamite sticks. And it's going to be very intense gameplay. It's going to be the people who really have the best game sense, who have the best mechanical skill here that can really pull ahead and come through. What do you think, Uberancy?
I think you pretty much nail it here. I'm actually having a slight issue loading the replay, so I'm just restarting my Awesomenauts really quickly before we get into this match.
No worries.
But it's Ribbit here, so Gnaw's definitely a very strong pick. So you've got some really good push from both teams, like really good push, and then lots of damage and initiation coming out from Ksenia and Leon. You don't have anything like super insane lockdown unless you get a nice bullpen as Lone Star, but Gnaw's got that great damage and that great push. And so does Lone Star, along with the low cooldowns and the ability to get a lot of health back for both of them, really, with transfusion grenades on Dynamite and also Lifesteal on Gnaw's auto attack is going to give them a lot of sustain if they need it, especially against all of that damage on both teams. But really, it seems pretty even, and it could go either way, I think.
Alright, well, let's get right into it. You ready, my friend?
I am just loading the replay right now.
Tell me when you're good.
I am almost good. Just getting to the 15-second mark. Good. And I am ready to roll. Would you like me to give you a countdown?
Do it.
Are you sure?
3, 2, 1, and we're off. Wasting my time. That was a precious second. So on the red team, we got Gnaw being played by Edster. We have Yolo playing the Leon once again, Body Hunter playing the Lone Star, and Zuji playing the Ksenia. And right away, Zuji gonna go in, trying to find Nisa's way, trying to see if he can find any damage. Not gonna really find anything. I really love how far the Edster Gnaw has come, because after swearing to everyone in patch 3.3 that Gnaw's great and that Gnaw hard counters Ayla, now just here he is non-ironically playing Gnaw in a grand finals match after he gets picked and banned literally all the time. And look what Awesomenauts in 2017 is. How do you think this what's gonna go
Gnaw
down?
is now the metagame. What a glorious time we are in.
Indeed. How do you think the first blood's gonna happen, my friend?
Well, we've got range tongue actually instead of invis coming out from YOLO here, and then we've got basic abilities for everyone else. You know, you can't really go wrong with basic abilities. There might be some exceptions where you just do not want to get basic abilities, and I feel like those exceptions can be Leon Cloak or something like, say, Ted Stimpack, and you want to go for regen, or something like Bank into Tedris or some stun or something like that. But Stimpack can still be really strong. But we're not talking about Stimpack right now. We're talking about Leon and Na. And I think the first pick is going to either go to a bullpen from Lone being supported by Ksenia, or a nice pull from YOLO being supported by Edster. Really just good initiation and lockdown. You can't really go wrong.
Indeed. And we'll see if they find the damage. Usually actually going to go down to half there. I think Edster's going to run this map completely. This is not on Rivet. It's and they got a nice push comp here. They can pressure them out so hard. Look at that amount of damage they do. Edster's going to be able to go in now. He's going to be able to get his Wheellands in. He can just control this map, I think. If he gets a snowball going, oh my gosh, it'll be so ridiculous how much he can do with it. But he's going to less than half from the turret alone. I'm not sure anyone on either team, including Edster, quite knows what he was doing there. But he's going to go heal up and hopefully not do that again. Body Hunter, go ahead and take out the Solar Boss. A little bit behind Edster, who managed to hit us a few seconds ago, as you see the little Wheeling blip on the radar. And now we're just going to see, again, the flipping nuts happening, but the mid control very firmly in possession of Team Aesthetic. And they are going to get the first push of the game. They're going to manage to take 2 bars off as they get some spitted Wheelings off on that turret. And that's going to be a nice solid bar. And yeah, so despite Lone Star on Rivet, oh, that tongue, that dynamite, like look at that, look at this cheese. Like normally Lone Star is the guy doing this all game on the first 5 minutes of Rivet, I should say. But now it's like interesting to see a Lone Star behind this turret like this on Rivet 4, especially in our Grand Finals match. Edster going in, he's starting to be evading the jungle a bit more. That's what I like to see from Naw. I like to see Naws that just kind of play like a jackass with the Wheelings, basically. Like the more like right outside your safety area the Wheelings are, and he's just sitting there in the Ed taunting, the better in my opinion. Like I want to see like that glass platform underneath that glass barrier on top. I want to see all 4 Wheelings go there. I want to see like Edster just go there and sit and just taunt. That's what I hope happens in this game.
Absolutely, just those hit and run tactics and just being as annoying as possible. And Not is very, very good at being annoying as well. Just he's got such a strange jump. Like the physics on his jump are rather strange, with it being a very quick and snappy jump, as well as him being a very small hitbox. He has the potential to just be so annoying, and really like people know that too. And it's just hard to hit him. It's hard to get the bullpens on him. It's hard to just face might him, especially. Ksenia's going to have an easier time dealing with Naw than Lone Star is, I think, unless Lone Star gets, transfusion very early then, and, some mobility. He might have a slightly better time brawling, but either way, we're going to see a little bit of push on the top turret here from the red team, from Team Aesthetic, but not too much is going to happen from it. Zuji trying to get some scissors in there, some knives, some dragon hunting knives, and trying to do a little bit of damage. Not too much is happening with it, though. And we see YOLO and Edster here just trying to clear the destroys and get that poke going. And speaking of poke, we're actually going to get a pull on Body Hunter. And Zuchi going in a little bit, doing a little bit of damage to YOLO. Someone needs the health back. Not actually sure who needs that health back, but YOLO's going to eat that creep and get some health anyways. And he's also going to clear these droids on bottom lane. Well, we've got Body Hunter here on bottom as well. Well, Edster is just clearing up these creeps. Probably going to go for the Solar Boss again now that it has respawned, and get a little bit of extra experience in Solar First Team. Well, Body Hunter and Zuchi are not really bothering with their Solar Boss too much. They got to be careful not to let Team Aesthetic push their towers too hard, because an early advantage against a Naw is very scary, and if you get both base exposure with a Leon or team, that's even scarier. So they just got to be careful, and they really just got to play defensively and try to get that mid control from Team Aesthetic. But it's so hard to get mid control from Team Aesthetic with all those Wheelings and just all that poking and annoyance.
Indeed. And Body Hunter and Zuji, they're actually coming back and trying to take mid now. We're 5.5 minutes again between 2 brawler comps, and we still see no first blood, because everyone gets low and then everyone gets out. It's going to take a real commitment from someone. I don't even know who it is at this point, because anyone could do it to go ahead and determine who's going to get the first frag at the game. This very slow pace so far. They managed to get in that chip on top turret, but it's very slow. It's just happening gradually. and no one is rushing anything that they shouldn't. Oh, Bull onto Edster, going to put him in a bad spot on a 2v1 scenario. It's going to take Yellow quite a second to get there. He's actually taking a lot of damage, and there's the tongue, and that's going to be your first blood at the 6-minute and 12-second mark. And now Edster going to be taking out that solar boss as fast as he can, and helping to smith that snowball. Now they have a level advantage, they have a solar advantage, and they should be in a prime position to tank this top turret. Zuji's incredibly low, it's not good on defense anyways with this knot here, and they might just be able to take it just off this. They managed to get a little bit more DOT. Zuji's literally just tossing out scissors one at a time as they respawn. He's just going to go ahead and pick up the health. There's nothing they can do. That turret is dead. Jeez, 1 kill. We see Body Hunter and Zuji playing extremely carefully now, because this is what Team Aesthetics comp does. Turrets, like, they're just going to go in and they're just going to pressure and win. Like, what the serious gamers need to do to contest the push?
Well, I mean, Lone Star's pretty good at defending here, so I think maybe some Bull upgrades is going to be a help, especially if they get cooldown on Bull. And that's going to help a lot with a 6-second cooldown, being able to just, you know, really help the enemy, or not really help the enemy, but really help them keep away the enemy, as Lone Star is great at defending as good as he is at pushing, just due to his nice clear and the ability to just, you know, push enemies away and wherever they want, because of his ability to just reposition anyone wherever he wants, as long as he can land that Bull. Well, it looks like Edster here, just going to take out the solar boss here, getting a brief 2-level advantage, but blue team is going to be able to get that level advantage right back once they kill a couple of creeps. There it is. But it's only 1 kill in favor of Team Aesthetic, but they've already gotten a tower down, and their bottom turret for Team Serious Gamers here is actually quite hurt already. YOLO taking a lot of damage, though. He's also hurt, just like that turret. Misses the dynamite, just trying to get those blaster shots, but Zuji's even more hurt than YOLO here. But YOLO's going to get bowled away, he's going to try and teleport here, while Edster is trying to fight Lone Star, but Lone Star's actually going to evacuate to the bottom lane here, try to deal with these droids. But he's going to get a lot of health with that transfusion, but the double plant slam and the Weedling in the creep areas, but he's not quite going to die to that DOT. He's got the transfusion grenades, which is going to help keep him alive for quite a while, but it looks like Bonnie Hunter's actually going to teleport out of there. Maybe he hasn't made up his mind. Well, Zuji here is on the top lane here, trying to maybe try to get a pick on YOLO or try to get some extra poke, some extra damage. Well, Edster is very much securing the bottom lane here, because they've already taken out the top turret here, so it makes sense for them to focus more on the mid and the like the creep area and this bottom lane here, so that they can take out this bottom turret here. And it looks like it might go down right now. YOLO getting the cheeky left clicks on that turret, but there's the pull on Zuji, but he's actually going to pull Zuji into YOLO and just get himself killed instead of just trying to juke the hell out of him. But that's going to be a kill for Team Serious Gamers, making 1 for 1 here and evening up the XP a little more.
Indeed. And just the amount of damage that came out there in that whole fight, like, everyone got so incredibly low, and again, it's the sort of thing where just one more auto attack from either side can really just shift the tides of the battle here. So everyone's being so cautious because it gotta be so perfect on this, and the pressure is on. But now, speaking of pressure, it looks like SG is going to be falling back a little bit, and Lone Star going to be seeing if he can go find anything, but he will not. And Ed's going to be falling back, and he will be picking up dental braces on, excuse me, not dental braces, I believe that's rotten teeth. Yes, that increases the base damage of its DOT and the duration of which it hits. So it goes from 4 seconds to 3 seconds, the same numbers are pumped out faster. That counteracts the ability of Region here, and that also goes really well with his life steal that he has on his auto attack. Because if he can get bite a bunch of different things, he's got the DOT over them, and that means he's got to heal over time from a bunch of different things, and he's getting really tanky. Combine that with the fact that he has that amplified damage going on, that means that if he's doing more damage to him, he's life stealing more, so he's just going to be really hard to kill. Like, you see all these +5s coming up on him constantly as he takes out the droids and fights them, and Yellow's just going to quickly solo. He's going to yellow the solar boss and take that out, and get a nice little more chunk of solar NXP for the red side. And blue side is going to get some push out. They're going to get some Lone Star cheese going, and yeah, not much really happening right now. It's going to stagnate. Edster's just going to try and go and finish off that turret, and Body Hunter catches him just in time. He's like the police officer, and oh, the double pulpit. Now they're in a bad situation. Yellow going to go down here as Zuji cleans up, and Edster's going to walk away, possibly for free. He's actually going to go in. He steals that health. Are you serious? And just puts that onto Zuji, and that's going to tick him down and giving him 1v. He's going to pick up the health, though. Esther's still performing a lot of pressure. He's so well aware that Ksenia is far back clearing up the droid, so he's just going to go ahead. They're going to keep swapping out with each other, tag teaming it, and he's actually holding both lanes completely by himself. Completely out-pressuring. He might just pick up a frag here. Nope, she's going to pick up the creep. She has Wraith Stone. She's going to be fine. But still, that was close. If he had, you know, I don't know why Edster got boots instead of, what do you call it, Rabbit Teeth. But if he got him Rabbit Teeth like he does literally every game I ever see him play Gnaw in, he would have picked up the kill on Ksenia. I'm pretty sure there. Now YOLO, he's going to be going out there, getting some more cheeky push on top and just keep on winning the games inch by inch. They have so much more push than formed than the blue team, but like actually look at the kills. Like it's 2-1 in favor of them. Like what can they do? Like Serious Gamers is just getting nailed by this push comp right now.
Well, we're seeing a couple of really nice upgrades coming out from both Ksenia and Lone Star here. We've got Vinium Boast card and a double dynamite damage coming out from Lone Star. And then we've got slow on Scissors as well as Frog Afro, which are both very big helps here against these comps, because Frog Afro is going to help with the Frog Afro was definitely going to help with clearing out the weaklings and win with the single target damage and structure damage as well. Well, Lone Star is going to be able to have that extra damage pretty much all the time with the reduced cooldown after getting the lesser hits, but it doesn't matter because YOLO is going to get the kill on Zuji, and Zuji is not going to put that Wraith Stone to use and get a creep. And that is going to be another kill for the red team here, making it 2 for 2. The Bounty Hunter here on the bottom lane trying to stop this push, and Lone Star is great at stopping pushes here, but he's going to get pulled and take a lot of damage. The Plant Slam's not able to hit him, but he's got potentially lethal DOT on him. He's going to go down to the DOT with the lifesteal. Is he going to go down? Just barely goes down to that DOT, just so much DOT. DOT, DOT, DOT. I like saying DOT apparently. We've got the red team here pushing this bottom turret here. Almost melting status. I'd say it is melting status, but it looks like Ksenia's gonna go in. Oh my goodness, she's gonna get both kills. No! Edster's gonna pick up the second kill with the Weedlings, just the Weedling stack. 2 or 3 Weedlings there doing tons of damage, and he's gonna be able to take this tower. Possibly go for the base as well. Lone Star's still dropping here. Lone Star finally gets back, but Edster here, he's doing quite a bit of damage. He's got his lifesteal and stuff as well. And there's the amp damage for Spit. Lots of damage coming out, but he's got so much lifesteal. Look at all the lifesteal from the droids. He's still alive, but the DOT might kill Bounty Hunter. No, not quite, and he's gonna have the lifesteal in order to keep him alive. But he's gonna get a bar of damage on that base, and they're all gonna respawn in time. Not too much is gonna happen. Lone Star might try to body this top turret. Leon is already back though, and already killing the Solar Boss once again. For a little bit of extra solar, while Edster drops down to the shop to go and do a little bit of shopping, get those rabbit teeth, like you said earlier, and solar crab burgers, getting tons of extra regen, an absurd amount of regen. He's got lifesteal on he's got an amazing lifesteal on auto attack that also applies to DOT on his auto attack, and he's got DOT upgrades, and he's got solar crab burgers and a stage of pills. He's pretty much he's like a fake tank right now. He just does so much. And the way Scoop is a tank with all of his regen, Gnaw is kind of being a semi-tank here with just all that lifesteal and all of that sustain that he's going to have.
Indeed, and now I just kind of see some Awesomenauts coming out. And it might just be 4 games in a row now in favor of Team Aesthetic. Like, they are doing a good job out crafting and out pressuring and out team fighting nearly every single game. And kills are even, but just like they can't do anything. Bounty Hunter might be going down here. He's gonna die, and that's gonna leave. This has got to be game. There's no way Ksenia can defend against this. Either they let her third hit like twice in a row, or she loses right now. Okay, there it is. They done. Well, that's gonna bring it up. Might as well just start talking.
Yeah,
about
that's it. Jeez, just already over 15 minutes in with the Gnaw and Leon being so strong on Ribbit, and that is 4 games in a row for Team Aesthetic, making it technically 4-0 and 1-0 for the second set of games. Wow, that was well played by Team Aesthetic, and there was some nice frags there from Edster as well. They kept pushing, kept the pressure on, had so much area control, and that really helped them win there.
Look at Gnaw's damage was nearly 180,000 this match. What is that divided by 15 minutes? That's over 10. I don't even know. That's over 10,000 damage a minute though. is absolutely insane. That's ridiculous. Oh,
Yeah, just I'm looking at the graphs here is now just compared to everyone else in the game. Like Lone Star did some respectable damage as well because Bovinian Postcard and Trinomite is going to do a hell of a lot of hurt. But really, surprisingly, it seems that the characters that had the most sustain actually were the ones that did the most damage. With Lone Star being able to stay in with Transfusion Grenades and Edster being able to stay in with that amazing lifesteal. Eds are just destroying with the damage.
I think that also has to do with the way the fights played out. It's as I said, it came so close that if you were able to take off another couple attacks and be able to stay in the fight that much longer, then you get the opportunity to land more attacks. That's how that comes down to, you know. But either way, still absolutely insanely just ridiculous looking match. Looking at the kills, there's only a total of 10 kills. 6 kills on the red team, 4 to the blue team. But they managed to take 3 turrets and a base by 15 minutes on Rivet 4 versus Lone Star. Like, this is so ridiculous. Anyways, we will be right back, my friends, with Game 2 of the second series as we look to see which who will be our winners of our grand finals.
Well said.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with match number 2 of the second series between Serious Gamers and Team Aesthetic. So far, Team Aesthetic is on a hot 4-0 streak as they take up a very interesting draft this time. I'm looking at it. It's your Team 1 is going to be Serious Gamers. Your Team 2 is Team Aesthetic, and Kesnia is going to be the first ban of Serious Gamers, followed up by Jimmy and Scoop ban coming out from Aesthetic. Serious Gamers is going to respond with a Silk Golder ban and pick up Swiggins. Aesthetic going to respond with picking up Penny and banning out Leon. Serious Gamers will then ban out Nah. Pick up Froggy G, who we've seen surprisingly little of in picks or bans today. And Team Aesthetic is going to finish it all off with a pick of Raylan, who was the first, again, that's the first time we've seen her picked or banned at all today. You, Ramsey, how you feeling about these traps, man?
I feel like I'm gonna want to not talk about video game anymore after this, because this might be a long match. Raylan on AI Station can have the potential to be very stally, and AI Station is just a massive map, and I'm sure most people know this by now. And it's just, and you've got on Serious Gamers, you've got a lot of just, pretty you can't go wrong knots. Though once again, a big issue is a lack of push. But, Raylan's going to have that push, but also has the potential to stall immensely. It depends on your build as well. If they decide to try and finish it a bit quicker, they're probably going to go double auto attack builds. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens here. If they go double auto attack builds and a bit of Rift as well, might be a huge advantage, and it'll give them that nice push that they need. Well, Serious Gamers has the lockdown, the stun, and the damage that they need. But the lack of push is the issue here. So unless they get a double kill and get the really nice combos, then they're gonna have some issues actually gaining any ground, especially on AI Station of all things.
All right, so I pretty much agree with what you're saying. That said, are you ready to get into this, my friend?
I believe I am. We are at the 15-second mark. Would you like me to give you a countdown?
Yes, sir.
3, 2, 1, go.
And we are off. This time, Yellow once again picking up that Penny that he's played like a damn badass all night, if I do say so myself. And we have Edster playing the Raylan, and he's immediately going to go ahead and get just that sort of cheeky snipe. I don't even know what you call it on Frog. He's going to pick up some health. Zuji is going to be playing her Swiggins Body Hunter, playing the Froggy G, your second place winner of King of the Frogs tournament, nonetheless. And we're going to see how this plays out. How do you think the first blood's going to go?
I feel like Serious Gamers has the potential to get the first blood a lot more than Team Aesthetic right now, until Team Aesthetic gets some upgrades. But although if there was a snipe right there on Body Hunter, that would have been the first blood right there, and I would have eaten my words once again, because I'm terrible at predicting first bloods, I guess. But either way, there's this Zuji getting caught in that timer. It was a nice rift there, but still hits YOLO with that anchor drop, or excuse me, anchor hook. But if Team Aesthetic gets some upgrades, like some better rift and some auto attack upgrades, I think is going to be the thing that they go for. What with auto attack Penny being sort of what's in for this tournament, what YOLO's likes to play. And then auto attack on Raylan is never a bad thing, and with Rift it really helps. And then you can have the snipe in order to finish people off. It is also good for farming. So I think that's what we're going to see, is a lot of auto attack from Team Aesthetic, while we get a lot of burst and lockdown from Team Serious Gamers. Whoa! Oh no, Edster! Oh, that was a weird freaking fight there. Would you like to explain what just happened?
Basically, it's kind of hard to explain. It was one of those weird things where, I don't know. Why don't you try and explain that?
Okay, Mr. Pillow, I will try to explain it. But what happened, that was weird, because Froggy got caught in the rift there, and actually got killed by the auto attacks, which was a nice play. But then Edster actually got hit by the anchor drop while going through the fire. I thought Edster was about to die there, but the anchor does not have enough health to keep him in that fire for too long. And there's the snipe on Body Hunter, but it's not going to do any damage to the iframes from Splash Dash is what I'm trying to say. I'm forgetting the names of everything. I'm too tired. This is what not getting enough sleep in a night is gonna do to you. But either way, we're gonna have Edster clearing this bottom lane a bit, clearing out the fly droids. Well, actually, he's not clearing out the fly droids, but Body Hunter is. And you're gonna use that snipe on pretty much nothing. But either way, they're gonna make a bit of a push on this bottom lane here. It's already about half health. I've just noticed that. Very low already, especially. And we're gonna see snipe damage coming off from Edster, not actually getting the auto attack or rift upgrades like I thought. I don't know how to predict anything anymore except for the auto attack Penny. That is going to happen. Misses the snipe on Body Hunter, and Zuji and Body Hunter are both a little hurt, but it's not going to matter too much because Edster is the only one there. But here comes YOLO here with the auto attack. Penny can do a lot of damage here, especially once he gets Cooking Monster Badge, which is going to increase his damage by about 40%, as well as having a ton of range. But either way, he's just got the range. A nice double pounce there, and Body Hunter's taking a lot of damage, and so is Zuji, but they need a snipe or something, but he's throwing out the time rift. Snipe is too late. Edster not able to get either of the kills there. But Body Hunter's just going to clear these droids on bottom here, while Zuji is just kind of hiding behind. And this is the problem with Swiggins here. Swiggins does not have any kind of sustain, nor can he really peek out while hurt in any way. He just kind of stands there, and he's going to have to teleport back. He's wasting time here. Can't really initiate yet. He's just got to wait for the base regen to do its job, or go and grab a health pack, or teleport back, which I think he might finally do. Yeah, it looks like Zuji's actually going to teleport back here. Well, Body Hunter is almost going to eat a snipe, but manages to dash away from it, and got YOLO here just clearing on bottom. Classic AI station plays of lots of droid killing, not lots of player killing. Edster's going to get the snipe on Body Hunter, but I believe he actually dashed out of it once again. While Zuji here is going to get the anchor drop on Edster, but it's going to get destroyed almost immediately by YOLO. But now YOLO has no charges. He's going to get his auto attack gun back very quickly. Not actually going for cowboy shooty McGooty super amazing ricochet sound effects, but either way we got Zuji going in with the anchor drop and another nice retaliation.
What?
But the splash, what?
TO, like, yeah, okay.
Wait, am I actually pausing here or
No,
what?
no, you're not pausing. We don't have refs.
Okay, fine. I'm confused.
The winner is whoever pays me
maybe
more.
Maybe you like accidentally broke your computer. You accidentally hit your computer with a hammer. I don't know what happens with you sometimes. But
Wait,
either
what?
way, Body Hunter's good. Don't worry about it. I'm trying to make fun of you. Now we got Body Hunter taking a pulse and a pounce, taking a little bit of damage there. We're just gonna be able to grab this health pack here in the mid, and Body Hunter going to actually have a little bit of extra solar too. He's got 350 solar on him after getting that strange kill on Raylan. And we don't have too much happening. We've got piercing auto attack on Raylan, regen, and one stage of blue heart metal on Swiggins, and we've got a little bit of splash dash damage actually on Froggy. But it won't help too much if he actually misses that damage. He isn't able to hit YOLO, but he does hit the droids. Well, blue team is actually making quite a big push here on bottom here, doing a lot of damage. I mean, this is what I was talking about. This is the push from Team Aesthetic, and Team Aesthetic, I think, once again has a very strong draft for this map, just because it's AI Station. Having a lot of push and the potential to stall on AI Station is very good, because AI, like Team Aesthetic, can really push whenever they want, and they can stall whenever they want because of Raylan and Penny's just great push and also great keep away.
Indeed, and just Edster and Raylan, YOLO, they really try and go for that early game. They really try and keep people pressured and keep them having to have something to do. Like, they don't want Body Hunter and Zuji to ever have idle time, and that's what they've been showing in all of these matches. And so far, I think it's worked out really well for them, to be honest. They managed to just completely dominate these turrets. And even though the kills are even, their turrets are basically untouched, but they've already taken out the bottom turret and have almost taken out that top turret. And the whole push strategy, I think they've really started to understand how the push meta gets affected in 2v2, as opposed to 3v3, where there's one more person to fin, one more person to clear droids. And Edster might be getting caught out here. He's going to get last hit. Now that's going to leave YOLO in a 1v2 scenario. But the red team is so busy cleaning up all these droids that she might just get pushed out of Edster's death, as she does go ahead and take off about a half bar. Not much, but a bar nonetheless. And I don't think we might not see any push, maybe a little bit, come out onto that blue top turret. And that just goes to show you the difference in the comps here and just how much more capable of harass and push that the blue team has.
Absolutely. We've got the regen here from Raylan. We're actually seeing a lot of regen coming out. We've got regen on Raylan, and there's a nice snipe and a pounce combo on Froggy there, almost killing him. But we've got the regen on Raylan, and we've got regen on Dash for Froggy G, and then we've got a movement speed upgrade when not holding Humboldt on Swiggins here. So we've got some pretty, a lot of stuff to keep you alive and stay on lane a lot, which is really important against these slightly push-heavy or stealth-heavy comps, in which Raylan can really do both those things. We also got boots on Raylan, very strong, one of the best boots in the game. I'd say maybe second best. I'd say Skoldiers could be a lot better, and maybe Ulips, but not that many people really play Ulip. So, and we're seeing Cooking Monster Badge and Starstorm statue come out on YOLO, but that doesn't matter because YOLO's going to get murdered by Swiggins there, and Body Hunter getting that damage while Zuji manages to get that last hit. Gonna eat a snipe for his troubles though. The Vengeance snipe coming in with a little bit of push on the stop tower, but because of that time rift, nothing's really gonna happen because of it. Not much he can do there, but looks like Body Hunter almost eats a snipe. Edster getting that 360 snipe there, but he's not gonna quite hit it because of the iframes from Dash. And we've got Zuji here on top. No anchor, but he's gonna be able to get it back whenever he wants. A nice time rift and the snipe on Body Hunter. Wow, the reaction times, inhuman reactions. And going to get the snipe on Body Hunter while he teleports away because he is just too wounded. And Zuji also going to teleport away. No, not actually. Might have been better to let him teleport because, you know, you can just push bottom because you're Raylan and Penny.
The amount of pressure, like, Edster is like really good at figuring out when he is the snipe even in closer range. And he's using that to really keep some poke on. That's one thing Frog hates. If he's constantly getting poked, it's just like the Frog reaction is just be like, damn it, like, go away. And then he wants to just be able to just, you know, harass them and go for kills and frag all game. And if he's constantly being poked, then he has trouble committing with his tornado, and that's where it really just becomes a bad situation for him. Yellow in a really bad situation himself. He's gonna have to pounce away. He actually might get the teleport. Nope. And the Bounty Hunter's flash dash is gonna come out, but Edster actually is gonna
time rift. Oh, what a play! Edster's actually just taking a lot of damage here. He's gonna get it out. Is he gonna make this fair trade? The anchor hook is gonna be back in 2 seconds. He goes for the health back instead of the creeps. Gets the anchor hook, but misses the anchor drop, and Edster's gonna be able to get out of there, grab a creep for his troubles. No snipe gonna be able to grab that health pack on the middle in the Inferno area. What a play by Edster. I'm surprised that Body Hunter wasn't able to get out of that, and he just jumped straight up, but he wasn't able to move left or right because he got body blocked by Edster and just fell right back into the time rift and took a ton of damage. And that's another great time rift from on Zuji too. The anchor drop and the knockback from Snipe is going to save him, but Edster going to the top lane while YOLO's stuck on the bottom here. And it seems like we've got Body Hunter kind of by himself for a second here while Swingens buys Fanatic Spoon, which is going to increase the chain break damage. Everybody knows that because you've seen it plenty today, while Body Hunter here just trying to clear with his another weak auto attack, but it still is enough to get the job done most of the time.
Indeed, and now they're just like, they're not getting, they cracked that bottom turret, even though honestly, all things considered, that bottom turret has not been pushed much. I think this was like the dead minimum for a turret to get cracked on the minimap, and now they might just find a bunch of damage coming out. Body Hunter actually going to be going down. That's going to be a clean 1-0 once again in favor of Team Aesthetic. Now they get the droids pushed up. He doesn't have his humble for a little bit. He might go for a cheeky anchor dive here. And yeah, there it is, but they managed to back up enough so that he doesn't get the AoE off on the Edster. And now, like, what's he gonna do? Like, they just they just push that turret for free, and like, he's got like that little ink. I don't even know how much DPS that is. It is not much. It's less than 200. Just as his way of fighting back, like the turret's doing more than double the damage Zuji does in that situation. And now, as you're trying to find the cheeky snipe off the jump pad, he's all about finding just like those sneaky, like, haha, you didn't think I'd snipe you right now type moments, and he always does. He always finds them. And he's been playing it really well so far. And like, when you look at the damage, they have way more damage at this point put on the map than the red team. Like, they've surpassed them both. We're looking at 73,000 to 49,000, 67,000 to 62,000, because they can find all this poke. Except for now, they might just go and make me eat my words. What a great initiation! The ref barely saving their lives. That was super coordinated. They have read that Team Aesthetic kept on trying to find try and find the ambushes on the lane rotation, and so they went together knowing to try and burst down on the lane rotation as they
that was
arrived.
Some good bait right there. It looked like Edster actually used that snipe as bait to get him to dash into Time Rift. The Time Rift disappeared quite quickly afterwards, but if that Time Rift was there for a little longer, he would have been stuck in there. That would have been devastating, but he got killed either way, getting picked up by YOLO, making it a 1 versus 2 once again. Fly droids are up here, but the piercing auto attacks and the AoE auto attacks are not going to, allow much to happen from there. We got the sniper ready on Edster once again, but they're just going to push this tower and do a ton of damage. Yuji's going to go in for the anchor hook in just a moment, maybe. No, he's waiting for the snipe, and he's going to maybe teleport back. No, it doesn't seem like, but he's actually going to go in and try to get the kill on YOLO, and he's going to get the kill on YOLO. With Edster, doesn't have Time Rift yet, and he's getting chased by Zuji. Zuji's just got 1 second on that anchor hook. Now he has it back and he manages to hit him with it. It just stands still for the snipe, maybe trying to be cheeky and get Edster to aim upwards, thinking that he's going to jump, but doesn't quite happen. Well, Edster's going to teleport back with his 400 solar here. Plenty of money in order to buy some time rift upgrades, but nope, we're getting more auto attack and more damage. Just, we got iron rifle and we've got auto attack damage, so, you know, just screw time rift upgrades.
Indeed. And that iron rifle is going to be significant because that means the stun, oh, they have to do at least 300 damage at pace, and that's scaled down to about a little bit under 350, I think. They have to do that amount of damage to Raylan during a snipe charge in order to interrupt it with a stun. But then instead of interrupting him, they're just going to interrupt Yellow instead, as he takes the entirety of Serious Gamers right into his face and then will be picked off in a very clean 1-0. And it's the same story that we've been seeing in these games. More kills on the team of Serious Gamers, but still just heavily outpush. Bounty Hunter's actually going to get that opportunity to push as he gets the droids over the turret. He's clearing that out. He's going to have to run. He's afraid of the rift, and Ezra knows it, so he's using that as a chance to go ahead and try and pepper him down with some auto attacks. And Best NATO 2017 coming out from Bounty Hunter right there as he floats down to the bottom lane. The snipe going to be a miss, just barely. And now they're going in. That snipe had hit. That's literally 750 health. That's literally a kill. Unfortunately, he missed, and so now Bounty Hunter gets to live to see another day.
Yeah, I'd like to mention something. I feel like the problem is Serious Gamers is going for deathmatch, but it's almost like they're forgetting that they don't have a third person. And I don't mean that in a mean way. It's basically they have two amazing picks, but they don't have any push with those picks. They've got the great lockdown and damage and DM potential, but then where's the push? You need a Lone Star, or you need a Raylan, or you need something, anything, but it doesn't matter because they're going to get the kill on Edster. But they got to clear all these droids, and they are not good at clearing droids because Zuji doesn't have his anchor back for like 5 whole seconds. Well, Bounty Hunter's only got his pathetic little squirt gun. Like, they're gonna have a bit of a push on bottom now because of these fly droids, which is the nice thing about AI Station sometimes. But YOLO's already back to deny that push because of this very strong auto attack. You're only gonna take away about a few bars. They might try to body the turret, but all those fly droids are gonna make that hard. Like I'm saying, they don't have the third person in order to compensate for the lack of push. They don't have, you know, like someone with a really high structure damage or someone with really good pushing potential. They don't have a Lone Star, they don't have a Raylan, they don't have a Ksenia, they don't have a Skoldir, they don't have anyone with the structure damage they need.
Indeed. And Soya's going to go ahead and teleport out, pick up some few more upgrades. Looks like he might be trying to go for some bit more damage now. Actually, he's going to go for kills. He wants to make sure he can survive the onslaught of Team Aesthetic. The rift is going to be a miss, and they might be trying to find Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunters, both teams are like trying to be aggro on each other, and it's getting really interesting. There's a snipe right there in front of the entire enemy red team, and he's going to barely be getting out. He actually might die if they find the Splash Dash or a Humboldt, but unfortunately they don't. So Edster will be having to get out at just a bar. They need to be playing this a lot more carefully, or everything is going to be going really bad in favor of the red team. And right now, Zuji looks like he's about to drop down. He's going to look for the anchor dive. That's going to be a miss. And there comes the pulse. He's going to break it. The Frog going to be getting out at just a bar. Zuji's going to be taken out at a clean 1-0. That missed anchor dive completely determined that fight right there. Because not only numbers-wise would they have been halved just from that, but that stun would have been very significant. And there he goes with the splash. It's not going to do anything because of the iron rifle. They're going to take base exposure at 16 minutes and 20 seconds. Now they might just try and end it. It looks like they're going in hard. Oh my gosh. The cheekiness of that iron rifle.
And that's the problem with Froggy's auto attack. He can't melt 300 damage with that barrier. He just kind of stands there and has to try and time the dash, but Edster's just going to be able to do whatever he wants. But instead of doing whatever he wants, he's going to get murdered and absolutely destroyed by Froggy G there. Just kind of standing still with the snipe, but he did not have the health to do that. YOLO wasn't able to support him there. But they did still take out that bottom tower there in the back row, and they did a little bit of damage to the base, and YOLO's going to be able to stop a push, except he actually teleported. Uh-oh. There's a super droid on bottom here, but Bounty Hunter's got the fly droids, so he's going to be able to get a push going here, most likely. Zuji's just going to body the turret, though, but the super droid is going to get behind them for a little bit while YOLO's coming back. Not quite in time in order to stop the push. Doing a lot of damage to Bounty Hunter. Ooh, the combo! With the Zurian mechanic able to give him an extra charge, he can do that pulse, or no, excuse me, he can do that pounce, then get an extra auto attack swing and to give that a 2 charge pulse or a 3 charge pulse, and to give it just enough damage in order to get that kill. Well played by him.
Now they might just go for the base here. So Zuji has tried this before. He tries to throw them off the base, and it doesn't really work that well. But he's already in that position, so he kind of has to commit to the strategy. That's just like, okay, you want to play? Let's play.
Ooh, he hit that? Wow.
Yeah, nice angle. Now they're going in. Big fight going to be coming out here, and all the abilities have been consumed from the blue side. Zuji going to be backing up. He actually might be going back in And yeah, they're just gonna wait for the abilities. Oh my gosh, he's so low. And
Just keeps walking into those snipes. He's eaten 3 of those snipes. Body Hunter's taken so much damage, but he's gonna be able to get away to the health, but it's not really getting away because the base is about to go down. And he's just gonna snipe Zuji for a 4th time and just kill him with the 750 damage snipe. But Body Hunter's gonna go with the dash, but he really can't do anything. Is he gonna go down to the snipe? Not quite, but YOLO's gonna get the last hit. And Team Aesthetic is going to pick up their 5th win in this, well, set of sets, I suppose. Yeah, the set of sets here, 5 wins so far, 5 game wins in the second set, and that's 2-0. Team Aesthetic is at tournament point.
If they can win, take the next match, that's it. They are the winners of the 2017 Awesomenauts Rumble Doubles Tournament. And just absolutely insane just how well they've been making these push comps work. At this point, Team Serious Gamers really needs to be careful in the draft, and they need to realize the sort of non-traditional shenanigans that Team Aesthetic keeps getting away with. Like, they have managed, and I don't think it's just 2v2, it is primarily, but at their core, it's a bunch of understanding about how they can push the turrets with their comps, and just like I think a very thorough understanding of how these comps play out in actuality against each other. It's like this iron rifle usage. They look for like things that they can do. They don't look. I feel like Esther and YOLO's, their drafting strategy is not, yo, if everyone goes in and lands their abilities, who wins? Who goes around looking for frags? No, they like think of mind games, like the way they did with, you know, baiting the frog to splash dash into a rip, things like that. And they see things like that, and they're like, okay, that makes the Raylon a good pick in this situation. And their mentality is kind of really unique compared to like the way most people draft, where they're managing to make it work extremely well. And now it's really put them in a situation where they've completely come back. They 3-0'd the first set, and now they just have to get one more win to tie things up. Body Hunter and Zuji play a very team fight focused game, and they're just getting out-positioned and out-maneuvered constantly. If they're going to go for this, they have to be able to confidently go and be like, yo, we're going to team fight this guy and we're going to find the frag. And when they find, even when they find insane stuff like hitting the double dash and the double anchor dive at the same time at the top of the jump pad rotation, it's still not enough, because at that point they're already being snowballed against. And it's just been match after match of just Edster and YOLO being able to completely control the map. It's absolutely insane. So we're going to be right back on Wolves, and when we're back, it could possibly be the very last match of the game, my friends. Don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with match 3 of the second set between Team Aesthetic versus Serious Gamers. And Serious Gamers are in serious trouble because they have yet to get a single win so far. If Team Aesthetic wins this match, then they will win the entire tournament, and that will be the end of everything. Joining me today to what could possibly be the last draft analysis of the tournament is Uberancy.
Hello everybody, I'm tired. How's it going?
We're trooping in there. I didn't expect the stream to be this long, but it's turning out to be like the old doubles tournament finals. Because I remember last year, it's like the same old ordeal. But the time that American Mojo and Humble Bundle had gotten into the grand finals tiebreaker versus each other, we were all like, oh my gosh, let's go. And it was like a 10-hour stream, so to me it's like nostalgia. It's like, it's good to be back. You just gotta burn through.
It's reminding me of when I did the Awesome Brawl Weekly. That was a pretty long stream too, because I wasn't actually around to catch the first doubles tournament. But still, this is definitely very long. And it might finally be over if Team Aesthetic can 6-0 this, which would be quite impressive in itself, just being able to 6-0 against a good team like Serious Gamers and just, bring it all the way back from losers finals.
Indeed. So, let's talk about the comms. We have Team Aesthetic, your Team 1, Serious Gamers, your Team 2. The Team Aesthetic is going to ban out Scoop. Serious Gamers is going to respond with a ban of Penny and Kesnia. Team Aesthetic going to ban out Scolder and pick up Jimmy and the Lux 5000. Serious Gamers is going to respond with a pick up Chucho Croc and ban out Leon the Chameleon. Team Aesthetic going to respond by banning out Swiggins and picking up Nah. And finally, Serious Gamers is going to tie it up with a pick of Froggy G. Uberancy, how are you feeling about these comms, my good friend?
Well, we get to see. I really was hoping. I know it probably wouldn't happen, but I was really hoping that maybe Eds would pick up Ted, because I didn't actually watch much of the match where he did play Ted. I was hoping he would pick up Ted to put on a good show, but Nah will still put on a good show. And we've got some pretty interesting teams here. We've seen a lot of these Nauts quite a bit in this tournament, but it's just this conglomeration is a little more unique. And we've got the Lux and the Nah. Lux has been surprisingly popular, even though I don't think he's been a very strong pick in a lot of these drafts. He's still been a popular pick. I might just mean being a dumb Canadian, but either way, he doesn't seem like he's been too strong, but he's still definitely a good Nah. Got that brawling potential and the charge into turret, able to pin people. And you've also got Nah, who is, you might think on face value that Nah's bad. No, he's not. He is doing a lot of damage and getting stuff done. And then on Serious Gamers, we've got Chucho and Froggy, two very high damage Nauts. Well, you've got Chucho with slightly better DPS and the sticky bomb burst, almost like a DOT burst. You've got lots of just an insane amount of burst and some decent CC from Froggy G. A pretty squishy team, with the exception of Lux here, but really, it's Agalon, so the Invis is going to be a huge help. And the Invis is going to be a huge help for Lux, and it's also going to be a huge help for Froggy G, because they're two really strong initiators if they can get behind the enemy. And, well, the Invis is going to make that a lot easier. I'm not sure who this is in favor of. We've seen Nah being really strong, and I kind of want to hope that Team Aesthetic wins this. I'd love to see the 6-0. That would be pretty crazy, especially in the grand finals from losers bracket. But it does seem fairly even. Do you have any last thoughts about this before we get into the match?
No, dude, I am stoked. I just want to see the match. Let's do this, my friend. At the 15-second mark, would you like to give us a countdown?
Absolutely. Hopefully, and possibly, maybe not hopefully, but possibly the last countdown of the day. I'm very tired. 3, 2, 1, go.
And we're off. Body Hunter going to be playing your Chucho Croc. And Zuji going to be changing his name to God. And going to be playing the Froggy G. And then Edster going to be picking up Nah. And Yellow going to be playing Jimmy in the Lux 5000. Immediately we see everyone kind of not actually looking for an engagement that much and just kind of being chill. How do you think the first blood's going to go down?
Body Hunter's got the Invis here and is able to. Actually, I thought he hit the sticky bomb on Edster, but he didn't actually. Not able to hit the sticky bomb, but we see YOLO trying to go for the YOLO charge on Mr. God here. He is now known as God. You shall refer to him as God, and you will praise God. But we're not seeing too much happening yet. Just some clear and some poking. The usual footsie stuff. Well, blue team is on top lane here, and a little squish here. They have a little more trouble brawling, but lots of damage coming up from Chucho and Froggy, especially from Froggy. And he's quite good at dealing with Nah as well, being able to deal with the Weedlings with Splash Dash and also doing quite a bit of damage to Gnaw, you know, if you can really get behind him and get that tornado. And you can also get out away from Gnaw's grasp pretty easily. And even with Rabbit Teeth, a straight dash with a stun is quite useful. But YOLO's got the invis here, maybe seeing if he can get a nice cheeky charge, but he's actually going to burn it. And to use the Missile Barrage in order to clear some droids, well, we've got God here clearing out these droids, and well, not too much is happening, not too many footsie knots. What do you think that the First Blood is going to be?
I think it's really hard to tell. I think it's going to be a Lux charge that goes wrong, and Body Hunter and Zuji manage to punish it and pick up a frag after canceling it out with a stun. And that said, if that goes wrong, that could actually be a 1-for-1. I'm actually betting 1-for-1. Lux charge goes wrong, and they collapse on Jimmy to punish it, but Gnaw is actually there to clean it up with a bunch of weedlings and spit and make it into 1-for-1, possibly 1-for-2.
So basically what you're saying is it's a good potential to be a trade.
Yes, and that might just be
that might actually happen right now. As Edster's going to go down, but Body Hunter's so hurt, but he's not actually going to get killed, so it's not a trade. It is in fact a nice sticky bomb from Chucho instead of anything like you said. Get good at predicting.
Well, excuse me, princess.
I'll be back.
Looks like YOLO here going to the top lane. There's a sticky bomb there on those droids. Not going to go near it, and he's going to clear these droids. Help his little buddy out. You know, his very smaller version of himself with a saw blade instead of pure blunt force from those rattles. So it looks like not so much happening here. Body Hunter just rotating to that top lane. There's a spit though, a little bit of area denial, and a couple of weedlings gonna help. Well, there's actually some droids at the bottom turret on the red side here. Not gonna do any damage, but it's gonna distract him a bit here. The first upgrades we're seeing amp damage right out of the gate on Gnaw. Definitely not a bad upgrade. You might want to get your sustain or your slightly more utility upgrades, like say Rabbit's Teeth, but I'd say Amp is one of the utility upgrades, and it just adds so much more effective damage, like 15% is very good. And then you've got Ninja Worms on Froggy G here, on SG God, getting the Ninja Worms, very good, adds the potential for an extra like 200, 300 damage after using your abilities, like 1-2. He didn't hit Gnaw with that dash apparently, that's weird. But in the way we got Team Aesthetic here on the bottom lane here, and now rotating the top, just trying to clear those droids and keep the pressure up. They're having a little more issue keeping the pressure up than they have in other games where they've had Gnaw, but they are still keeping the pressure up. It's just not as clear cut that, you know, there's no boundary for serious gamers. We have seen some droids get through to the back turrets.
Indeed, and now it's the same story. Bonnie Hunter and Zuji find the kills, but YOLO and Edster find the push, and like the turrets of them are just completely untouched. And even though they got first blooded, they managed to take a nice solid 3 to 4 bars off that top. They're chipping in with the missiles. Gnaw gets in there, that's gonna be really bad. They're gonna chip a little bit more as the droids do get to touch and land a couple of attacks on it. And they're just going to town, just always trying to end this. And if they end this now, that's it. What's up?
Yeah, it seems as though like they finally kind of, you know, made the smart play. They've gotten someone that can really get the push in and do the damage. They've got Chucho, who is very strong, and it's also going to help a lot with pushing here because Chucho is definitely quite good at pushing, especially with his detachable, well, not really detachable, but you know, deployable turret there, as well as being able to have so much movement speed and turret damage, and clearing quite well as well. So he's actually got that push that I feel like Team Serious Gamers really needed in the drafts.
Indeed, and now that he's just clearing, he can't even move out from this turret. That Chucho and a Jimmy pick is not playing out as well as he thought it would. Might be able to do a bit more once he gets some of the bike upgrades and gets things like the knockback, the DOT, all the different damaging things that Chucho is known for. But right now, he is just sitting on that turret at base abilities without any hope whatsoever coming out. He really needs to go ahead and just spin that 400 solid before it's too late. But as it is, he is just sitting there looking to see if he can follow up on whatever Zuji decides to do. And yeah, it's just very passive gameplay coming out from them, but they're going to manage to take down Edster right in front of that turret and pick up another kill. That's another clean 1-for-0. That'll give him some solar, give him some XP. Now I'm going to go ahead and pick up Boots and BKM of all things. I guess he doesn't want to get locked down by slow. He doesn't want to get locked down by that stun more than anything else, and he's just going to be very difficult to deal with at this point. And they still, like, look at it. Like, they're not getting any push off a kill. Like, they actually got a kill, and, like, they're busy clearing droids. Chucho gonna go ahead. He's gonna pick up Level Zork. He's going to pick up, I believe that is Piercing, is it not? Yes, it is. And Regen up on him with piggy banks. And the clock that is picked up by Frog, which one is it? It is the Heal Over Time one. It is very good. Jimmy might be going down here.
Oh, that sticky bomb was really good.
It was. I'm trying to think, is there any way he would quickly like double tap the creeps and then like charge it to survive? No.
He might have been able to like use missile out of cover and try to get the 2 creeps, but then he might have just gotten killed anyways while using missile barrage. Also, I just learned some new Chucho tech. You could use nitro boost right as you're getting off your bike and retain the speed boost on foot. Fun fact that I just learned that.
Oh yeah, basically it boosts your momentum.
Yeah. I didn't know that applied to while you were on your foot if you like use it and then get right off your bike right away. But either way, we've got a little bit of push coming from the blue team finally, a little bit of pressure. Nothing too great though, as Team Aesthetic is going to be able to get that back pretty quickly just because, you know, Naw is able to just hold that area so well, especially on top lane. He hasn't got anything but Drip Spit, but that's always an option and it just helps a lot. Just because of the way Naw works, you usually want the high ground against Naw. Or I mean the Naw is better holding the high ground is what I'm trying to say. I don't know words, but God might actually go down to the DOT. No, he's going to get the creep, but YOLO's actually really hurt now. But Edster's actually going to go down as well, making it 4-0. But YOLO is very hurt. He's going to try and get those cheeky missiles. Gets 1 on God. But I know it's Zuji, but I'm just going to keep calling him God. But we've got a bit of a push on the top turret here. That was a nice dash, but he doesn't have Tornado in order to clean it up. But top turret might actually go down, actually beating out Team Aesthetics push here for the first time. Serious Gamers able to take out a tower before Team Aesthetic is, and there's a push on top, but it looks like Edster is back and raring to go and is going to clear out top as well as come down to bottom in order to clear out that as well and push the enemies away with this great area denial, while SG God is going to teleport back and get double hammer pants, which is interesting upgrade. You don't see it as much now, but it is still super strong. Well, you do still see it plenty. Just lately in this tournament you haven't seen it as much, but you still see hammer pants plenty, like a lot. It's one of the best damage upgrades for Froggy G, and it's really quite nice. And it also makes your splash dash have a solid AoE on it. If you hit the ground, it's a little bit of an AoE, which can be quite helpful for just barely catching those enemies behind turrets.
Indeed, and yeah, at this point they're just going to be going for the damage. They want to make sure that they get those kills on Edster before you can just out-gnaw them. And it's going to be one of the things that are really important here. Body Hunter taking a lot of damage right in front of the turret. That is going to push him back. And he's just going to be forced to defend for quite a second. And that's going to give Red Team's just some more breathing room to go and control mid and take out the droids and see if they can't go chip the turrets anymore. And like, look at the point. Zuji's at the point of splash dashing the droids. He's right in front of the enemy team because he just wants to OCD defense that hard, and that's just going to create a situation where they actually managed to move up a little bit. They can't really find anything done, and might try and look for spin now. Like right here where Bounty Hunter is almost.
Oh, this is going to be a massive play.
Oh my gosh, he's what?
Is Body Hunter alive? Body Hunter's alive. What just happened? Was that doubles? I don't even know.
That was a double.
How did Serious Gamers like?
He went in and he just tanked the remaining turret hit and auto attack hits for his teammate, and just now they get a wipeout and they're actually able to take it out on the do some damage on top turret, take out the bottom. I cannot believe he's alive. What the hell?
That was like the craziest sticky bomb. As I thought, like Team Aesthetic had way more health than that, and Chucho got out with a matter of like just 20 health or so. I think it was 20 or 50 health. Just jeez.
And like everyone no one's really been going Frog in this tournament so far besides Serious Gamers really, and like I don't know why. Like Frog is, as y'all can see, extremely good in 2v2. That was so insane.
Yeah, that was a great play by Team Serious Gamers. But either way, we've got Edster and YOLO just kind of hanging out back here, doing their thing, waiting for the Super Droid to kill their droids, I suppose. But they can't be too aggressive here. They gotta play a little more defensively now. Actually, one of the first times they have to do that. We've got Baby Curry Mammoth and we've got Rabbit Teeth coming out on Naw, as well as the amp damage is going to help a lot. Well, we've got a little bit of sustain and some and the danger pins on YOLO. Pretty basic upgrades. The Baby Curry Mammoth is slightly less basic, but It's going to help a lot against the splash dash and all of that stun. And if any more CC gets bought, it's going to be cut in, well, not in half, but it's going to get cut by 30%, but with slow and dash and stuff being less of an option now. But either way, and for the other builds, we've got damage on Sticky Bomb, as well as a lot of alternative damage for the auto attack here, getting piercing, getting increased attack speed after landing a Sticky Bomb, and reducing the cooldown on Sticky Bomb after you land auto attacks, a la Bovinian Postcard. And then, you know, you've got pretty basic froggy stuff. So that just sums up the builds mostly. Chucho's is a little, I'd say it's pretty standard as well. And just the Baby Killer Mammoth on not as standard, but, you know, it's either that or Solar Crab Burgers, or maybe some more regen, and this Baby Killer Mammoth does seem like a fairly smart choice. Even though it's only really the stun, it's still very dangerous.
Indeed, and now they're just going to be, we aren't seeing that much really happening now. We're really seeing the footsie knots coming out. This might be the, I don't know, I'm really starting to become a fan. I think that double kill was big. Cider, actually, as they're about to go down, that Sticky Bomb should be a last hit. No, he actually got a creep at the last second from his jungle, using the null shenanigans he has out there, and will actually survive. That said,
oh, the danger pit hits, but it doesn't quite count. But that's like, well, Chucho actually got killed here. Body Hunter got killed.
Wait,
so
what?
now YOLO.
When did that happen? I didn't
Yeah,
even know
he
that.
died. Did you not pay attention?
I didn't even.
Well,
get
he
the
got
message.
killed by YOLO. YOLO went in with the. Yeah, I didn't see it either actually, but YOLO went in and got him with the auto attack kills. Looks like they're gonna body this top turret here. God doesn't have dash for a couple of seconds here. This turret's getting bodied. Edster's a little hurt, but God might try to go in against it. It looks like he's gonna go for it, but he's gonna steal the creep instead. Not gonna be able to hit Edster with a single attack there. Has Ninja Worm's ready, but he's not going to be able to do anything with it. YOLO is super hurt, though. I wasn't even paying attention to that. He's going to get that creep just barely, but the dash is going to come in and kill YOLO. So they did trade 1 for 0. Well, it wasn't really a trade, but they did get a turret for it. And God's actually going to have the Invis here. We're going to have the Splash Dash with the Invis. That has the potential to be pretty crazy, but he's actually just going to use it to be smart and clear that Super Droid to make sure that the Super Droid doesn't completely destroy their creep wave. Well, Body Hunter is pushing this bottom turret quite a bit. Well, Edster is by himself in this creep area, just trying to get something done. Body Hunter's actually taking a lot of damage. The DOT is not going to be lethal, but he's super hurt, but he's going to be able to grab that health back. Well, SG God is actually going to go down and go down to Edster's DOT, as well as getting chased by YOLO, but Edster's going to get the last hit with that DOT. Well, Body Hunter here is going to just try to throw Sticky Bomb. Nothing's going to happen, though. It's 2 seconds until Froggy is dropping. Now he's dropping. It's going to be about 11 seconds until he's dropped down and ready to fight again. But we're seeing a shield on Tornado coming out, as well as 1 can of Medican, or 1/2 of Medican, just, half a container of Medican, just a budget Medican. It's already been used a bit. But either way, we've got a little bit of push on the bottom turret. Edster's actually in Viz here. He might try to pull something off with this, or did he already burn it? It looks like he already burned it. Whoops. But either way, we've just got a little bit more footsie knots. Is there anything like you notice about the builds, or do you just think this is standard stuff that you want to see?
I think it's more or less standard. I don't really think there's anything too. Yeah, it's as you said. This is actually extremely standard. I don't see any abnormalities at all here. Chucho, Frog, Jimmy, and Gnaw are all building exactly as you do. Like these are minus a bit out of kind of, I would say the build orders maybe are kind of weird, but the Items bought are about as conventionally, definitionally the go-to meta build as it gets. Like, we're not really seeing much of the different players' personalities bleed into their builds. If that makes sense. You're just seeing people go the standard paper cut, Knot and Jimmy, the standard cut, Frog and Chucho, and yeah. Yeah, so I really am trying to think of like what would be the unique item to really pick up that would really help take things over here, but I'm really not that sure.
Yeah, it looks like Edster's trying to maybe clean something up. Well, Froggy's grabbed the Invis here, but he's going to use it to grab that health pack, and he still has the Invis
I need to pause.
here.
I need to pause. We need to I need to restart the stream because we're getting some drop frames. Okay, we will be.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's at 1138.
Ooh, dear, that's pretty bad. All right, well, I'm paused at 1541 here.
Wow, you're 7 seconds ahead for me. Okay, go to 15.
Wait, really?
Yeah.